Hello, my name is HQ of ITSMYRACEX. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content. Thank you.
Hello, people. How are you doing today? This is one of those days where I got even more of a cold because I live in a state that makes me get sick when the weather changes. I apologize. Here we go.
Gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 3 minutes. Mr. Speaker, James Madison warned us that in no part of the Constitution is more wisdom to be found than in the clause which confides the question of war and peace to the legislature and not the executive. Madison called it the crown jewel of Congress. The framers understood a simple truth. To the extent that war-making power devolves to one person, liberty dissolves. If the president believes military action against Venezuela is justified and needed, he should make the case and Congress should vote before American lives and treasure are spent on regime change in South America. Let's be honest about likely outcomes. Do we truly believe that Nicolas Maduro will be replaced by a modern-day George Washington? How did that work out in Cuba, Libya, Iraq, or Syria? Previous presidents told us to go to war over WMDs, weapons of mass destruction, that did not exist. Now it's the same playbook, except we're told that drugs are the WMDs. If it were about drugs, we'd bomb Mexico or China or Colombia, and the president would not have pardoned Juan Orlando Hernandez. This is about oil and regime change. And when it comes to regime change, we've already been down this road with Venezuela with nothing to show for it. In 2019, we recognized Juan Guaido. We seized their embassy here in D.C. We were told that regime change was imminent. Years later, Maduro remains in power. Today, we're told to place our hopes in other exiled figures. Edmundo Gonzalez and Maria Corina Machado. I wish them well, I do. But Congress should not express moral sympathy in the form of a blank check for military escalation and American lives. And let's take a moment to acknowledge the contradiction at the heart of this policy. This administration tells us that the Maduro regime is made up of narco-terrorists, and by escalating toward war, we would predictably create countless refugees. At the same time, this administration has moved to end temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans and deports them back to the very regime it condemns. So which is it? Are we prepared to receive swarms of the 25 million Venezuelans who will likely become refugees and billions in American treasure that will be used to destroy and inevitably rebuild that nation? Do we want a miniature Afghanistan in the Western Hemisphere? If that cost is acceptable to this Congress, then we should vote on it as a voice of the people and in accordance with our Constitution. And yet today, here we aren't even voting on whether to declare war or authorize the use of military force. All we're voting on is a war powers resolution that strengthens the fabric of our republic by reasserting the plain and simple language in the Constitution that Congress must decide questions of war. I urge support for this resolution, and I yield back. Gentleman, time had expired.
Hello. When I listen to this speech by Thomas Massey, I don't hear some policy speech by him. I hear him talking straight to the president. And what he's saying is, Mr. President, the path you're on is dangerous. And we're not going to blindly follow you down that path. He's calling it out. He's calling it out. He ain't sugarcoating it. He ain't trying to be as direct as he should be, because Donald Trump is a part of his party. He's not dancing around it neither. So Massey is trying to remind Trump and everybody else that every time this country drifts into war, the story keeps changing from this president. First, it was weapons of mass destruction from George Bush. Now it's drugs are the new WMDs or whatever. And when the reason keeps shifting like it is, something bigger is going on. I hope y'all know that something bigger is going on. Oil, power, control, regime change. But it sure as hell ain't honesty. It sure as hell ain't honesty. This is what he's saying. What he also saying is you don't get to do this on your own. Telling Donald Trump, you don't get to do this shit on your own. Y'all be I just don't understand how people don't understand what the hell is going on. The Constitution, hold on. The Constitution gives Congress the power to decide war for a reason. Because when one man controls that decision, freedom is on the line. Massey is basically telling Trump, if you think this is necessary, make the case. Bring your ass to Congress. Make the case. In public, in front of the country. Let the country see. Let the country get a vote for it. Okay? But this ain't no America first. Okay? I understand why he did it. I understand what he did. I understand all of that. But you still did it the wrong way. Okay? You still did it the wrong way because you did it without authorization. No backroom decisions, no cowboy moves. Then he calls out the contradiction nobody wants to say out loud. We say Venezuela is too dangerous. We call the government corrupt. We warn about chaos and refugees and all that, but at the same time, people are being deported back there. People are being deported back there. That doesn't make sense morally or logically. And Massey is saying that part out loud. And here's the bigger point. Trump promised to stay out of these endless wars. But this road he's on looks like the same mistakes that people are going to repeat that want to start a war. Long conflicts, billions of dollars spent or billions of dollars we trying to get. Countries broken, and regular Americans, we got to pay the price of that. We're going to pay the price. So Massey's message is very simple. Slow the hell down. Be honest about it. Respect the Constitution. Stop acting like war is your personal decision to be made. And it's not. You're the leader, but you don't have a right to take me to war if my representatives tell you no. And you have to ask my representatives to go to war. Because the bulk of us don't want you to be at war. It's only a small fraction. Because even inside his own party, people are tired of this crap. Tired of the power grabs, tired of being told to just trust me, whatever the president decides. That's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to reach across the aisle and ask people to do what you are doing. Tired of watching this country get pulled into situations we can't walk away from. What kind of country would we be if we walked away from Venezuela now once we took their president away? Okay. If we rush into Venezuela without any kind of, what the hell is it? Any kind of background and check, any kind of plan, real proof, real plan, we could get trapped in Venezuela for a minute. And he's talking about we're going to rule Venezuela. We're going to run it. We're going to run it. See, that's crazy as hell. Now we in the middle of it. And this is the war we said we didn't want to be. See, what people keep failing to understand is we may not be doing a conflict or a fight, but we're still occupying another country. We're still meddling in other people's business. That's the problem. We're still meddling in other people's business, even if there's no more fighting, even if there's no more bombs being dropped. All because this president got a zinger up his ass because somebody ignored him or somebody told him to go fly. The whole point is we're occupying another country and we shouldn't even be there. We never should have went in there in the first place. I understand why he did. Went over there because he wanted the oil and he didn't like Maduro. That's it. That's all. It wasn't nothing more or less or complicated than that. Well, we cannot be subject to a president's whims. We cannot be subject to a president's whims. And this is where we're at. All of us at the whim of a president who don't know how to control himself. That's wild. I never thought we would be there, subject to the whim of a president because he don't know how to control himself. That's wild. I just thought about that really hard. We are at the whim of a president that don't know how to control himself. Next. Wait, if you Garrett Patton, if you think there's a peace prize coming, you goofier than I thought. You goofier than I thought. If you think Donald Trump is getting the peace prize after pissing off the world the way he did, y'all wild. And you zombie, you wild. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Your daddy.
You being you and being the target, that people's lives were in
Yes.
whether they be so you felt that
Yes.
for Sophie Call and other that
Yes. Yes, and for our Somali community, yes. Look, I'm on the list because whatever it is, they hate us. I may be on the list because of last fall. I may be on the list for whatever reason.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But yes, that's exactly what it is. And look, I don't know how you spin the story other than him pushing that conspiracy theory. You don't have to listen to me. The Hortman children told you that. We shouldn't have to be talking about them. Respect their privacy. We just attended a wedding, which was a joyous day.
No, they want to blame it all on you, Mr. Tim. Everything is on you. You are the subject of these goofy people's madness. You are. And don't call me that no more. Don't call me that no more.
2 empty seats from someone who's murdered. But there's rumors out there and all this. That is freaking evil. And every one of you in this room knows it's evil. And that type of hate and those types of threats that are actionable, yes. And look, I'm concerned for my family, but I've got a little bit of protection now. My family, not so much.
See, this is what happens when a bully keeps swinging at you, hitting you, and you don't say anything. This is what the person who's getting their ass kicked looks like. When you let a bully beat you into a corner, this is what it looks like right here.
Much, but what about Somali immigrants who are minding their own business? We've got 2,000 folks. We don't even know who they are. They'll be wearing masks, being here in Minnesota, harassing them. If you want us to fix fraud, come and help us. Come and help us do that. They're not interested in that.
See, in his point of view, wait a minute. Well, Walsh, wait a minute, hold on. See, this is what it looks like when you don't fight back. And this is the problem I have with a lot of people in this planet and in the other side and on the aisle. You don't want to hit back. I be gut punching Trump every day. Tim Walz is speaking from a place of fear, frustration, and I get it, responsibility all at once. He's answering a question about whether the danger surrounding him and the people connected to him play a role in his decisions. And instead of brushing it off like most politicians do, he gonna lean right into it, but it don't look like a lean of strength. He admits that yeah, the threats he getting are real, not just towards him, but towards his daughter, his family, and especially towards the Minnesotan Somalian community. I ain't never seen goofy people madness come off people like this because X, Y, and Z. I ain't never seen this goofiness. This is crazy. When he says he's on the list, he's describing how political rhetoric has turned him into a target, because you let it turn you into a target. He believes there are people listening to conspiracy narratives who see him as the enemy. Yes, of course they are. We got some of them in the chat. We got some of the goofy people in the chat. He doesn't frame it as politics. He frames it as hate. People who, in his words, hate us and may be acting on that hatred. Of course, you can hear that he feels personally haunted and responsible, not just criticized though. He then says something about it being directly connected to Donald Trump. He's clear though. He believes Trump's talking about Minnesota fraud conspiracies didn't just create debate, it lit a fire of hate and goofy people coming out the woodwork, conspiracies and all that crazy shit. He argues that the lies and exaggerations fuel threats and harassment and this fear. Okay, when he brings up the Hortman family, which is that Hortman family and the tragedy surrounding, he says these aren't abstract political gains. People are actually suffering. Of course, we know people are suffering, but you should have stopped all of this from day one. He ain't took no damn money. Stop saying Tim Walz took money. Tim Walz ain't took no money. You put your anger on the phone. Y'all to see that's the problem. Y'all know how to focus. It's just a scatterbrain logic. There was some Somali people and one white lady. As far as I can see, I only saw one white lady who was the gang leader. I don't see no smoke for the white lady. You don't know nothing about that. You just talking, Roberto. As usual, y'all just talking. His language is moral, not political. He calls what is happening evil and says everybody in the room knows that it's evil. That's important. He's trying to shift journalists and the public away from saying this as a partisan back and forth and towards seeing it as dangerous behavior, which it is. Because you got goofy people in the chat talking about he stole money when there ain't no proof that he stole no money. He also points out practical. He says some protection. He needs some practical protection for the government. His family has less protection. And regular immigrants, especially the Somalians, Minnesotans, have no protection. So in his view, they're easy targets when conspiracy narratives get weaponized. Like I said, Goofy's in the chat talking about he's dangerous. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Then he pivots back to the fraud. He doesn't deny fraud exists. Nobody denied the fraud existed. The fraud came from his state. The fraud came from from that big gigantic Minneapolis. Yeah, I always say that wrong. His core point is that fixing fraud requires the calm cooperation and investigation, not the campaign of fear that the president unleashed upon that community. That's wild. So the bigger message is clipped and layered. Walz is trying to say, yeah, there was fraud and it needs to be fixed, but he believes Trump turned the scandal into something weird, a conspiracy narrative that threatens all of their lives there, intimidates that whole community. Hey, the community brought a lot of it on itself, but Tim Walz didn't bring none of this on himself, and Tim Walz shouldn't even be the subject of it. He wants to be seen as the adult trying to govern while painting the critics as people stirring chaos. I get that too. That's the heart of it. He's not only defending his record, he's warning about what happens when these political narratives turn into this goofy logic, this goofy anger, and you ain't gonna be able to help yourself because you got people who need help out there in the world, and some of them ain't got it, and they believe anything this president say. So Tim Walz, I say to you, you better hurry up and resign. You better hurry up and get up out of office because they ain't gonna never let you live this down. You should have stopped this narrative when it got started. You should have came right on out and said something about it from the beginning instead of hiding. You thought it was gonna go away. I don't know why you thought it was gonna go away, but part of this is part of what you got started. I ain't saying you stole nothing. I know you probably didn't stole nothing. You seem like a decent type guy, but you brought this narrative. You helped this narrative. If you let somebody say something about you and you just stand there and don't say nothing, then it's part of your problem. It's part of what you helped to start. You helped it by not responding to it. So this is what happens. So then we get to we get to, the goofy shit from, the president, which went off the rails immediately, because the president don't know how to,
of the United States
keep from running his mouth and being goofy about it. So
Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American.
damn, every time I can't fucking have that music going. Every time. Well, you got that music going. I ain't trying to hear that damn music. I ain't trying to hear that music, but it's always on there when he get on stage. I don't understand why we got a problem with that all the time. You know what the music is about. He said, oh, you got to cut that music off. Yeah. Yeah. One of them, Glenn. One of them. Let's see.
Very much. I do love that song, but we got to get to business.
Yeah,
I love that song, but I want to thank you all. You're special people, and I want to just say that
Wait. Look at the shit that's in the damn chat. I'm having a conversation about what politicians said today, and I got a goofy in the chat saying garbage like this. Goofy in the chat saying garbage like this. Wow. Just wow.
I was coming over here and I said, I love those Republicans, and I meant it. I said, except for maybe a couple I don't love. But the people in this room, I don't know if those couple are here. I don't know. I don't care if they're here or not. But we love you, and you've done an amazing job. You love the country. You're doing what's right for the country. And I want to wish everybody a happy new year, the most successful House Republican majority in decades. And we did it with not a big majority. Right? That was not a big majority.
Oh, see, we gotta stop right here and then say, what do you mean by the most successful Republican? What? Did they do anything for the common man? See, when I consider you successful, I consider that you helped everybody in the country elevate to a different level, to something better, to inspire the country. What did you all do in that Senate that is the most successful Senate other than pass taxes for the wealthiest few, which is what I said you Republicans only do, because the Republicans only do four things. They raise tax, excuse me. They put out tariffs. They give tax cuts to the rich. They try to get rid of Social Security and Medicaid or any number of those things. And then they try to get rid of other programs that are related to safety net. They try to make sure that the poor people or the middle class people stay poor. Them is the only four things that the Republicans do when they get in the House. And that's what they did. They ain't gonna get shit else done because they're not planning to do anything else. They've done what they needed to do. They passed tariffs, which tariffs fucks over the economy every time they use them. Getting tax cuts to the rich fucks over the economy every time they use them. Try to get rid of Social Security, ACA, Obamacare every time they get into power. Every time they get into power. Those are the three. Let's just say three. Those are the three main things that Republicans do. Go back to Trump's first term, and you'll find out that's the only thing he did then. There's nothing that he has done for the middle class. So when he says we're the most successful Republican Senate, no, you haven't done anything for the American people. Do you see the goofy shit I'm looking at now? Do y'all see the goofy shit? Nothing I just said you cannot dispute. Somebody in the chat dispute what I said. Come up with something else. You see what I got to deal with. This is the kind of stuff you got to combat every day. I hate to leave y'all in the goofy neverland, but this is not fake news. Trump did all three of these things that I said. There ain't nothing fake about them. That's wild.
Majority, but it's a unified majority, and it's people that know what it takes to make America great again. So together we had 12 months of unprecedented success in 2025, and now we're going to make history and break records with the epic midterm victory that we're going to pull off. It just doesn't seem to happen for
Hit the door.
people that win the presidency.
What you waiting on? Don't announce it.
It's an amazing phenomenon. You know, you win the presidency, and we sure as hell are having a successful presidency. I will say that. But even if it's a successful presidency, it's been nothing like what we're doing. We had a very good day 2 days ago, too. But even if it's successful, they don't win. I don't know what it is. There's something psychological, like you vote against. You can win by a lot. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions. We won everything. But they say that when you win the presidency, you lose the midterm. So you're all brilliant people. Most of you are in this business longer than me. That makes me smarter than you, because look where I am, right? No, it doesn't. But I wish you could explain to me what the hell's going on with the mind of the public, because
the public is outright rejecting. Let me let you finish.
we have the right policy. They don't. They have horrible policy. They do stick together. They're violent. They're vicious. You know, they're vicious people, and they stick together.
That's wild coming from this Republican president. That's wild. You've only done those 3 things that I said that you have done. You have only done those 3 things, and you consider this successful? Invading countries successful? Kicking people out of the country successful? Rolling back initiatives in civil rights successful? Rolling back all the progress people have made with people of color successful? Do you call this successful? He's not giving us any new information. He's building a story about himself and his movement. He declares historic success and unity. Most successful House majority in decades. Really? Even though the actual majority was small and messy? The point ain't accurate. The point is to make his supporters feel like they're on a winning team from the beginning. And you ain't on no winning team. You're on the losing team. Second, he claims they won every swing state. He always does that. And the popular vote by millions and millions. That's simply not what happened in 2020. It is not what happened. Jack Smith, Jack is the one who got on a panel. He's the one who had the testimony a week or 2 ago. And he told you what the hell is the truth. Biden won the popular vote and key swing states. Trump didn't win jack shit. But repeating that shit over and over and over again, repeating it over and over and over again, trains his audience, trains the goofy audience to accept an alternate reality and scorecard when he never legitimately lost. And what even kicks me in the balls that I hate so much, is that he knows that he's lying. That's what I hate. He knows that he's lying. And his base don't understand it. They understand. They don't understand it. He knows that he knows that he's lying. Okay. This is goofy logic. Y'all see people who eat charcoal be in my chat. If your followers believe you always win, then any loss must be blamed on cheating, corruption. The Dems are satanic. There's a goofy mindset right there. Third, listen to how he frames the midterms as weird, psychological quirk of the voters or some shit. Instead of saying midterms are a check on power, instead of saying the midterms are going to be a check on your power, and sometimes people don't like what they see, he implies there's something wrong in the public head if things don't go his way. That's wild. And fourth, he labels the other side. Of course, they're vicious. They're violent. Of course, this is the kind of narrative I hear in the chat. I don't know. Did y'all go to the same school and all y'all go to the same Christian national school and then all y'all learn the same talking point? Because y'all all say the same thing. And that's why I say zombies. Y'all all say the same thing. Democrats are liars, cheaters, demonic. All of y'all say that same thing. That's wild. And he insists that we stick together. We don't stick together like that. Y'all stick together like that. Come hell or high water, shit or shinola. Y'all do. The goofy goofies who believe that the election was stolen. Okay? By saying we stick together, he's trying to dehumanize who we are and want to shame any Republicans who don't stick like glue to him, like Massey. Put together this segment is doing a whole bunch of crazy work. We are historic winners. If we lose, it's because the public is confused or the system is broken or the other side is vicious, and our only problem is we're not united enough behind me. That's not a neutral description of politics. That's programming your audience to see future elections as illegitimate. That's what the fuck that is. Hold on. And that's why I don't care for what this president be saying, because he just
say, look, I could have Trump call
he's saying anything.
me all the time. I just have to break his ass a little bit, and he'll be calling. But I appreciate those. We actually had a little party. We opened up a beautiful section of the White House in the Rose Garden, and we had a party for all of those people that I never speak to and vote for me. And, you know, I spoke to Doug, but I didn't speak to him about, never had a problem. And I was really saddened by his passing and was thinking about not even doing the speech in his honor. But then I decided that I have to do it in his honor. I'll do it in his honor because he would have wanted it that way. He would have wanted it that way.
Y'all see I'm chimping out, right? Y'all see the goofy Jay in the chat. You see the narrative that we get. See, I'm very restrained. I can drop the link, but won't none of them hit no link. Won't none of them come up here and say nothing wild. That's the difference between you and me. You say something, I say something in the chat, and you tell me to hit the link. I'm on that link in 5 seconds. I hit the link, y'all run like it's kryptonite. If you ain't gonna hit the link, shut the fuck up. Tell me to drop the link and then say it to my face. Tell me exactly how I'm chimping out. J Goofy 30.
He would have said, do that speech. Are you kidding me? Do the speech, big guy. But he was a fantastic person. Man, that was a quick one. I don't know quite yet what happened, but boy, it's a tough one. He was just with us. He was our friend, all of us, every one of us. And I also want to send our best wishes to Congressman Jim Baird and his wife, who are recovering from a car accident. They're going to be okay, but they had a pretty bad accident. And we're praying that they get out of that hospital very quickly. He's going to be fine. She's going to be fine, but it was a bad accident. And I want to thank the man who has been central to so many of our triumphs. He really has been. He's the guy that would call me to make those calls all the time. He's always working. And he's a nice person.
So let's pause again. Notice how he defines a great member of Congress here. It's not. He wrote important legislation. He fought for his district. He pushed for serious reform. No, the key line is he voted for me 100%. That's what he means. This tells you a lot about the political culture he's pushing. The high virtue for an elected official is total loyalty to him, not independent judgment or allegiance to the Constitution. He don't care about that. He care about you being loyal. Okay? He care about you being loyal. Okay, then he contrasts that with other members. He has to call at 3 o'clock in the morning. People who need reassurance, flattery, praise. The best Republicans are the ones who never make him work for their vote. The problem members are those who hesitate or want something in return. That's all you got to do is copy and paste it into your browser, Selmo. Copy and paste it into your browser. In a healthy democracy, representatives are supposed to be answerable to their district and the Constitution and the public interest, not a president. Here he likes to imply the chain of command is Trump first, party second, and country and the voters is somewhere after that. That mindset is how institutions become hollowed out. Like our institutions are fucked up now. When loyalty to one man is the test of a good lawmaker, I got to be loyal to you. That's crazy. But then again, I think we got some goofy shit going on with the president, but that's just me.
They're broadcasting all this, and I'm letting my feelings out because it's true. I feel that way about so many people in the room. I could say it about many of the people in the room. Some I don't know as well, but many of the people in the room. They're incredible people. You're incredible what you're doing. We also have another one, Richard Hudson, Chairman, NRCC. Richard's always in there, always with a smile. No matter what's happening, Richard, he always has a smile. He's just a positive guy, smart and positive. Thank you, Richard. Really appreciate it. You do a great job. Republican Policy Committee Chairman, Kevin Hearn. Kevin, where are you, Kevin?
I wonder if there was any pushback in that room for the bombing in Venezuela. Did anybody push back in the room? Everybody's scared to open their mouth and say something. Scared to open their mouth and say something.
Thank you.
Oh, no. I told you how to bring that link up. Goofy. I told you how to bring that link up. Copy and paste it and put it in your Google or put it in your Chrome. Then you can just come on up. And then what topic are you talking about debating me on? Because it's got to be one of the topics I just mentioned. It ain't going to be no random shit like abortion. It'll damn sure be about a subject we talking about right now.
Kevin, thank you. Did a great job. Every one of you got to be proud of yourselves. And basically the entire House Republican Conference. It's been really amazing what you've done. And we're going to give you some ammunition today. I said, I'd love to make a speech. Speaker asked me, would you make a speech? I said, sure. You think Biden would do that? Would you make a speech? What? First of all, people wouldn't ask him to make a speech because it never worked out well, right? Could never find the exits. You finish, look, stare here, stare there, stare here. You could jump off the front if you had to. No matter what he did, he got himself into trouble. So basically, they didn't ask him to, but if he did, it wouldn't be good. But it's good with me because, we have so much ammunition. We have ammunition. The problem is the fake news. That's why I like being on. I'd much rather do live television than do non-live because, when they say, as an example in my speech, peacefully and patriotically to the Capitol, peacefully and patriotically. Do you know that the Unselect Committee...
Oh, shit, here we go.
...didn't report it, that I said those words? Do you know that the news never reported the words walk or march peacefully and patriotically to the Capitol? Do you know they never reported it? It's a scandal. The Unselect Committee never reported that. They never reported that Nancy Pelosi was offered 10,000 soldiers, National Guard soldiers, whatever you want. No, I don't want them. And the mayor. The mayors were in writing. She was more honorable about it. But Nancy got caught when her daughter did a documentary. She's a documentariess. And she has her mother saying, it's my fault. I should have taken the soldiers or something. I saw that in the documentary. I said, whoa, this was a major story. Has she spoken to her daughter since that, But they just, they are vicious people, even on the attack. And it was an amazing military feat that took place yesterday. Think of it.
See, he's trying to rewrite January 6th in real time. No, you can't. You need to shut the fuck up about January 6th because now everybody and their mama remembers January 6th for those people climbing that wall. Can you imagine if those people that were climbing the wall were black? Can you imagine? There'd be blood all over that wall, all over that grass for somebody shooting them down. Okay? But you're trying to rewrite history. First, he says peacefully and patriotically. Zooms in on that. As if saying those 4 words cancels months of the escalating rhetoric that you started about a stolen election. Fight like hell, directing people to the Capitol on the very day of certification. and you say you didn't do it, this is classic cherry picking from one clean spot. Pretend the rest of the context doesn't exist. It's like ranting for months that your house is being stolen, whipped up a crowd, and then say, but I told him not to break nothing. I hyped him up, but then I told him not to break nothing. That's the one sentence that doesn't erase the larger incitement. That's the problem that people don't get. But I told him not to go down. I didn't tell him to go down. I said peaceful now. That don't erase the larger incitement that you did. Second, he shifts the blame to Nancy Pelosi at one point, and the DC mayor, suggesting they refuse troops, and then leans on a documentary snippet of Pelosi saying, I should have taken the toll. That's wild. Whether you agree with Pelosi or not, look at the pattern. Responsibility for security failures, other people. Responsibility for the mob's motivation barely is addressed. His own months-long stolen election narrative. That's all he kept saying is, it's stolen from me, stolen from me, stolen from me. That's all we heard. Treated as irrelevant. One sentence does not erase the larger incitement, but I told him to go peacefully. That don't erase the rest of what you said, the rest of what you did. And then he wants to attack the committee as unselect and the media as fake for not telling the story correct. When you put all this shit together, it's not just a spin. It's an attempt to lock his supporters into a closed information loop. Only he tells the truth because only goofies believe it. Any investigation that finds fault with him is automatically corrupt. See the way they demonize Frank, the prosecutor, Frank Smith. Any omission or nuance in the coverage proves a big, gigantic plot. That's wild. That's how you move people from healthy skepticism into outright paranoia. And we seeing it in the chat. Oh no, he's the best president ever. He didn't do nothing wrong. Nothing. He didn't do nothing wrong. And now we got people out here believing that everything is corrupt. Every institution is corrupt. Every Democrat is a liar. They ain't got nothing to say about them Republicans. Ain't got nothing to say about them Republicans. It's all the Democrat fault. Ain't got nothing to do with him. That's wild. Hey, Famous. You there, Famous? Famous.
Hey, HQ. I just wanted to say what's up.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
Nothing. Nothing. Just wanted to sit next to you for a minute, see what you up to for a second before I step down.
Let me see. Okay, let me run the video. Let me run the video.
Helicopter. We're not letting that happen anymore. We're telling our defense contractors, you're going to start building faster. You know, guy makes. I have a big problem with it. I'm the king. I have sold more Boeings than any human being on earth. They gave me an award, Salesman of the Year. I said, what about Salesman of the in the history of Boeing? I've sold more Boeing planes than any man in history by far, probably over 1,000. Over 1,000 planes. I said, that's the good news. But why should they wait 3-4 years to get a plane? They should build them, get them immediately. The F-35s, it takes too long to get them. The Apache helicopter. I mean, I had India coming to me, sir. I've been waiting 5 years. We're changing it.
You think they got cut and paste right there waiting for you to order a plane? Cut and paste. It costs so many dollars to make the plane. They wouldn't make the plane 2 years in advance, 3 years in advance, and then expect somebody to buy it. Okay, no, we already got them sitting on the lawn. We already got it sitting on the lot like cars. Really?
We're changing it. India ordered 68 Apaches, and Prime Minister Modi came to see me. Sir, may I see you, please? Yes, I have a very good relationship with him. He's not that happy with me because, you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs now because they're not doing the oil, but they are. They've now reduced it very substantially, as you know, from Russia. We're getting rich because of tariffs, by the way. I hope everyone understands that.
Oh, shit. We finna do this tariff thing. This is what we finna do. And that's the thing. This is what got us into the problem right now is the tariffs. This is where it is because if you that should be the last thing he need to be talking about. He need to be talking about nothing but that. Okay, nothing but trying to get us out of this headache. Nothing but. Let me let him play.
They hate to report. We're going to have over $650 billion poured into our country or coming in shortly because of tariffs. You know, they're finding all of these pockets of money. A couple of weeks ago, sir, we're off by $39 billion. Oh, is that good or bad? Meaning, do we have it or are we short of it? Sir, it's $39 billion that we can't account for. That means we have an extra 39. Yes, sir. I said, well, what are you saying? We just don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. Sir, that tariff doesn't start until September. He said, no. It started about a month and a half ago. Check it. Comes back 25 minutes later. Sir, you were right. It came from tariffs. This never happened to us before, where we find plus 39 billion, not million, plus 39 billion. They were missing. We've taken in $650 billion or shortcoming, and that's because I'm being nice.
Let's hope y'all don't believe none of the numbers that he be spouting. There are nothing about his numbers.
I'm laughing.
You can't believe no numbers that this man spit out because they all be wrong and all. I don't understand. And then people be spouting those numbers like they gospel when that don't even make sense. I don't understand. Speak to it real quick, Famous. What the hell? What are we listening to?
I don't know. Does presidents have to show proof, or is it just word of mouth, like a big trust me, bro? You know, I want to see some proof.
Bro. It's a big trust me, bro. That's all it is. Just like they said, a Doge was gonna do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Nothing.
You got this extra money. Where you gonna put it? Are you gonna give it to the middleman or the poor people, or are you just what? Like, so it's just extra money you guys found. And is that the oh my gosh, man.
And I be wondering, wait a minute, don't we got a debt clock? Do you be putting the money on the debt clock? Do y'all, where do y'all be putting this savings at? You should be saving millions and millions of dollars. You know why? Because you fired all these people, you closed all these places, you got rid of USA aid, you pulled back, you got tariffs on people left, right, and center, even an island that don't even have no people on it. Where's all this money that should be saved from you doing all of these things? Where is it going?
HQ, I think he said a number, but really there's more, and they pocketed it like every corrupt person would do. I don't know. Everybody's suspect to me. But I just think he gave out. If he's right, I think I don't know. He's lying about the numbers, and there's actually 90 billion he found, and he's only accounting 60-something billion. That's it. And he gave it all to his family or special donors.
Remember, he became a billionaire when he got into that office. He became a solidified billionaire. But that don't mean he funneled some money onto his family, some money onto somebody else's account, because we ain't really paying attention to where's this money going to. We don't know where it's going to. This $39 billion.
Is that all going to our deficit or our debt or whatever, or what is he?
Oh no! I mean, if you getting that kind of money, put it on the debt that we owe. Put it on the debt so we can get rid of the debt. Okay.
Is he saying what he's gonna do with it, or he's just saying he has it? Oh, okay.
He ain't saying nothing. He just saying numbers off the top of his head. I mean, he just saying numbers. This is wild. Hold on.
If I want to be, and we have national security because of tariffs. And frankly, we have a big Supreme Court case. I hope they do what's good for our country. I hope they do the right thing. We're the president.
Oh yeah, he's still that the Supreme Court still has to decide whether they're going to allow him to do tariffs or not. If they take it back, they snatch it back from him, he got to pay back all them people that he got tariffs from. He got to pay all of them back.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that no, he ain't got to pay them all back. We got to pay them all back. Right.
So with that money he found, he's not going to use it to pay back if they snatch it up from him, the tariffs.
That money gone.
He's just oh.
Just like the money for the food stamps. The food stamps had a backup reserve that they put together. They spent that backup reserve. That's why they didn't want to give the money out, the food stamps out from the backup reserve, because they had already spent the backup reserve. Ain't no backup. Ain't no backup. Yeah.
So that extra money is, I think it's from all the stuff he stopped, our safety nets, cancer research, and all that other stuff maybe that he stopped. Okay,
that stuff cost money. That stuff was costing American people money. It was well worth it because of where it was going. But what did you do with the savings? That's the question. What did Doge do with all the savings they said they found? Where did that go?
They stole that money and claimed to get fired. They took off with that money. They didn't even last a year. They didn't even last 9 months. What happened? Give us an explanation. What happened to Doge?
Right.
What's my 2,000 so-called dollars? Yeah. I mean,
we ain't getting none of it. We ain't seeing none of the benefit. This is what I keep explaining to people. What did Trump do with you all? What did he do for the middle class when he got into office? He don't plan to do anything for the middle class. He plans to do it for himself, and he plans to do it for the rich. He don't plan to do nothing else but enrich everybody that has money. The poor people just gonna keep getting poor. It is what it is.
The president has to be able to wheel and deal with tariffs. Now, if you have the right president, it's good. You have the wrong president, if you have the wrong president, nothing's good. Tariffs are the least of your problems. We found that out for 4 years. We had the worst president, did the worst job. They had the worst policy.
And I hate when people keep saying that. When you keep saying people need to go back and look at Biden's record. Biden pulled us out of the ditch. We were still on the side. If you look at this analogy, we were in a ditch because Trump put us in the ditch and COVID helped put us in the ditch. Okay. He helped put us in the ditch right along with COVID. I give you COVID. Okay. Biden pulled us out of the ditch, but he didn't get us start. He didn't get the car started. He just pulled us out of a ditch. We weren't rolling. We weren't doing anything with Biden. We just got pulled out of the ditch, waiting for somebody to come along and start the engine. That's what happened. Okay. Biden did what he was supposed to. He made a bridge from being in a ditch to being on the road, but he never got us started on the road. If you look at the analogy like that, then it's easier to explain to somebody. Trump took us into the ditch. COVID took us into the ditch. Biden got us out of the ditch, but he didn't get the car started. The car was still fucked up.
See how we have to even run against these people.
Yeah, hold on. Go ahead.
Nope. I'm going to continue listening. Go right ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I hit the wrong button and then it came on. I didn't mean to start.
I was gonna say, and I mean, Biden got us out of the ditch, but Trump is letting it slide right back in there.
Yes. That's where it's going. If you put it in that analogy, it's easier to explain. We was rolling under Obama. Boop, boop, boop. Everybody say we was rolling. Trump with the tariff, with the tax cuts, we started to veer to the right. We started to veer into the shit. I forgot the name. What the hell is it called? My brain just went fried. Into off the road. We started to veer off the road. We wasn't off the road with what Trump did, but we started to veer that way. Then came COVID, and we went straight into the gutter. Okay. The analogy is simple. That's the way I figured it out. When people keep saying, "Oh, Biden is a terrible president," no, Biden, he didn't get the car started, but he got us out of the ditch. Okay, and you got to look at it that way. Great. People say, "Well, he didn't get us the car started." No, he didn't. But it was for Trump to get our car started. It was for Trump to get our car started. And guess what Trump did? Trump put fucking oil in the damn tank. Oil in the tank. And now he think it's running smoothly.
All right.
It's rolling, but it's fucked up. You see what I'm saying? I can't put it no clearer than that. Yeah, it's rolling, but it's rolling really, really terrible.
He might have put the oil in the radiator. Shoot, I'm serious.
Did that. He could have did that. I'm saying it makes, to me, it makes more sense to explain it that way. Then people can look at it and say, oh, okay, yeah, this is where we at right now. We rolling in the car, but we about to get pulled over and get thrown into the ditch again. Sooner or later, we're going to be in a ditch. Before this 4 years is over, we're going to be in another ditch. Okay.
People. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news.
Oh, no, he didn't say that.
What?
Didn't they say months ago? Didn't they say months ago he was going to try to make us cancel elections?
But Mega is going to say, oh, he's just joking around. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he just says words that don't mean nothing. When are we when are we supposed to start treating his words as gold? Like this right here.
What the hell did I hear him say? Wait a minute. Let me back up. Just back up a little bit. What the hell did he just say?
Worst president, did the worst job. They had the worst policy. We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election. Because
what is going on here? What is going on here?
How could that even happen, though? How can they cancel the election?
He could
start a war for 3 years?
He could do the military. He could make people not be able to vote. He can go to red states. No, he could go to blue states and say you can't come out the house, or you can't vote, or you can't X, Y, and Z.
Dictatorship.
Yes.
No different than Putin or North Korea's president. No different.
That's wild. I didn't know he said that in his speech. This is my first time hearing him talk. This is crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy. No, that is how he can stop people from voting. Wait a minute, let's back up. What did he say again? Say it again.
We had the worst president, did the worst job. They had the worst policy. We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news will say he wants the elections canceled. He's a dictator. They always call me a dictator. Nobody's worse than Obama and the people that surrounded Biden. Not Biden. I don't think it was Biden. He didn't know what the hell was going on. Okay, the election was rigged. He had no idea what happened. He still doesn't. And
you know what? The craziest part about it is he knows he's lying. The craziest part about it is he knows he's lying about the election. Famous. He knows.
How can he keep saying the election is? How can he?
Because there's people who believe him. People don't. Haven't you been in the chat when people said? Haven't you been in the chat when people said the election was stolen? Biden stole the election. Y'all stole the election. Haven't you been in the chat when they said that? Haven't you heard him say it?
Yeah.
The whole point is he continues to say these narratives, and people believe it. He knows the truth. He knows it wasn't stolen. Why do I know he knows it? Because him and that McGillicuddy, who was that chick that was the press secretary, his last press secretary? She testified. She went to court and testified and said President Trump knew he lost. In court documents, under testimony, he know, and so did Rudy Giuliani. In court documents, they said he knew that he lost the election. That's why he knows he's lying. That's why
he keeps speaking lies into existence till people believe it's true.
Yes,
something like that.
And people in the chat, you got goofy people. Look at this. Look at this right here. You got goofy people
I
in the
can't
chat.
see the
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't see the chat.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could, but oh my
He said
gosh.
typical liberals making shit up. What is we making up? What are we making
I know
up?
he's saying it right here. We're showing you black and white. They
The
don't.
vote. You don't have to believe me. Like I told you, you don't have to believe me.
She's
Go
showing you guys.
to that whatever. Who is that chick who used to be his press secretary? The young chick
Not,
with the black hair. Not her. The one that his first thing. She went to court and she testified that her and Donald Trump was in a room, and Donald Trump said, "I lost to Biden. You mean to tell me I lost to that brain dead dude? I lost to him?" He knows that he lost the election. He's lying to goofy people, and goofy people believe that shit. He knows he lied. You don't even have to believe me. Go look at the testimony in every person that got convicted in January 6th that was with him on that street when he told people to go down there and fight for your country. Every person that testified on that day testified that he knew he lost. You ain't got to believe me. Just go back and look at the testimony.
that's why he said that. Fight,
Mhm.
fight. Take
Mhm.
it back.
Because he knew he lied.
He lost. He knew that.
Just go back and look at the testimony of the court testimony.
Okay.
He knew he lied. He knew he lied. They said Rudy Giuliani was one of the biggest Trump supporters. Even at his trial, Rudy Giuliani had a trial. Remember, he went to trial.
Yes.
Rudy Giuliani. Okay, in his trial, go back and look at his trial. He will tell you Donald Trump knew. We knew they lied. We knew if we said this that they would help us. We knew that if we told the Congress people to the fake electors to do X, Y, and Z, they would help us. They would do the fake stuff. We called Georgia trying to get X, Y, and Z. He knew he lied. It's wild. And you still got people out here talking about, no, he lost the election. He won the election. No, he didn't. He knows that he's lying to you. He knows that he's lying to you.
The auto pen. And by the way, you ought to make a big deal out of the auto pen. The auto pen was your president because most of the things were signed by auto pen. And you're not allowed to do that. I signed very little. Now I just sign everything because it's just so crazy. But, like I had the other day, we elevated a general to 4 stars. I think you should sign that. That's a big deal. A general did a great job, was elevated to 4 stars. And I had the general in, and I
famous.
Yes.
These are the comments in the chat. This is the next level dumbassery. You keep believing that delusion is real. There's still people. Her name is, there she go. Her name is Hope Hicks. Hope Hicks. Okay. Before the January 6th committee saying that she walked, Hope Hicks, she was Donald Trump's press secretary, just like that one chick who got pregnant just now. Hope Hicks testified before the January 6th committee saying that she walked into a room where Donald Trump was like saying to her, "Can you believe I lost to this fucking guy?" He knew he lost. She testified in court and in front of the January 6th committee that Donald Trump knew he lost. That's why every time he opens his mouth, he's lying about saying the election is stolen. He's lying.
How come we can't say this election was stolen?
Because we don't have no proof.
Oh,
if we had proof, then we could do it. But see, the Democrats and the independent people, we don't sit out there and say shit is stolen, and we don't have no proof.
There we go. But he's doing that with no proof,
and people still believe it. People still believe it, even after all of those people went to court. Famous. They went to court and went to jail. In their testimony, in the jail paperwork, the people said, "I knew that Donald Trump knew he lied."
I heard Donald Trump pardoned a girl that was in Colorado penitentiary or something like that, that
Hmm.
had something to do with
He
the
can't.
rigged elections.
He can't. He
Okay,
can't
because
because
the state.
she
Okay,
has state cases, and that's why he's punishing Colorado right now. Not every bill that comes on the floor that's from Colorado, he's been turning it down because Colorado said we ain't sending her to a federal prison, so you can pardon her. We ain't sending her to a
so
federal
Trump is
prison.
he's deliberately not helping Democratic states. I think majority of them,
Yes,
especially
yes,
California. I
yes,
remember this one dude said, "What happened to the California fire funds?"
right,
Gavin Newsom asked them for them, and they still haven't gave them to us.
yeah.
But other people had donated it. Other companies had donated some relief.
But
I
see,
don't know.
this is okay. But this is okay with the MAGA crowd. It's okay. He can do
Yep.
whatever he wants to with the MAGA crowd. Oh,
And
Pan.
Asa,
Hello, Pan.
much,
Can I help you?
much love, HQ,
Hey,
and
what's up?
much love to the other brother on the panel. Much love, and
How you
thanks for
doing?
having me up. I'm
Hey.
doing well. Thanks for asking. Happy New Year. And I do want to say this. Well, this is a disclaimer. HQ, I appreciate the positive rapport that we have with each other. So
Mm-hmm.
if it becomes contentious, I'll drop down just out of respect because I don't want to ever have an argument with you. But I
Okay.
do have to say this with all due respect.
What?
Right now, in my estimation, or at least the way that I assess the situation,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the people that were working against Black America when the Democrats were in power, they
Mm-hmm.
are experiencing karma right now. What do I mean by that? And I'm glad y'all brought up California and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these Democrat-ran states. These same states, they were allocating Black American tax revenue, really all of our tax revenue, to illegal aliens in
Mm-hmm.
these sanctuary cities. They were allocating housing to illegal aliens in these sanctuary cities, while the Black American homelessness and unemployment rate increased. So their karma now is that the federal government is withholding tax revenue to these same municipalities, these same states. Additionally, these same exact Democrats that were supporting not only sanctuary laws and creating sanctuary policies, they literally facilitated the influx of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country, into Black American communities, ethnically displacing Black Americans. These same exact, well, at least many of them, not all of them, but these same exact illegal aliens are being mass deported as we speak. And finally, I could keep listening, but just so I'm not preaching, finally, my final point is
Mm-hmm.
these same exact Latino nations
Mm-hmm.
that flooded, might I add, in complicity with the U.S. government. I will never forget that. But these same Latin American nations that conspired with the U.S. government to flood Black American communities with cocaine and fentanyl and other
Mm-hmm.
narcotics that took the lives of Black Americans, these same exact Latin American nations, in particular Venezuela, are being
Mm-hmm.
invaded by the U.S. government. So, in my estimation, this is just karma, and we as mulatto Americans and Black Americans, we should just allow these people that worked against us to experience their own karma. This has nothing to do with us. Actually, this is a time that we can benefit. Really, just
Mm-hmm.
this is how I see things.
Okay, you said him cutting off funds from blue states. Famous also said the same thing. Why is he cutting off the funds for blue states, Famous? Do you know, or did you came
I
to that conclusion that?
he no, I read it on Google why the government didn't give California Governor Newsom the money.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't got back to him, and just in a broad word, they haven't
Mm-hmm.
they haven't got back to him since I think July of last year. They haven't got back to him.
See, here's the thing, y'all don't. Here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand. Blue states, all states have to give money or give a certain percentage or whatever to the
To the
federal
federal.
government for the federal
Yes.
government to work. California gives over and above what they're supposed to give to the
4
federal
trillion.
government. So
Yep,
when
4
the
trillion.
government says we're not going to give you any money, that's all the California has to do is say, I'm not sending you any of my revenue. And then the government would be fucked up. See, you would have to fight fire with fire. Just because the federal government gives California money doesn't, they only give them back, like, for example, California gives the government 80, just say $8. They give the federal government $8. The federal government gives California back $5. That other $3 goes to help red states. Red states give the government $3, and then the government gives the red states $6. So the blue states give more money than the red states. That's all the blue states have to do is say, we ain't sending you our excess money. We just sending you what you need. We just sending you what we got to send you, and we ain't gonna send you no more, and the government will be fucked up. Okay.
I mean, we'll see if that actually happens. We'll see, you know.
Yeah, but that's a fact. That's how that goes. It's a simplistic version for people to understand, but California, New York, Illinois, all of those states give the most money. They give the most money to the federal government. The red states are the states that take the most money from the government.
Oh,
So
man.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go right. I was just saying, if that does happen, California might be in shambles if 2 blue states stop giving federal funding. You know, sending Washington their federal funding a year.
Right. I mean, look it up. You ain't gotta believe me. Look it up.
Yeah,
That's all you gotta do is look it up.
What would happen? I mean, what would the government do to us? Would they call the National Guard on us and demand their money? Or
I don't know what they would do, but I'm saying Donald Trump has stopped funds from going back to California because of what? Why are you trying to stop funds from coming my way when I give you $3 more than what is required? I give you $3 more than what is required, and then you got an attitude with me about giving me money about X, Y, and Z? That's the thing. People need to start fighting back on this bullshit. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. You know, and I know if they stop sending money to the red states gonna be in trouble. No, I didn't say the opposite. You ain't goofy. You understand what I said. You ain't goofy, Matt. You understand what I said. Go back.
One thing that I'm noticing, and once again, this is my perception, and I'm open to being corrected if I'm wrong.
What?
But when Biden was in office, to me, it felt like the Black Americans was the only ones getting cooked. Now that Trump's in office, in my estimation, it seems like everybody getting cooked.
Yeah,
So
everybody getting cooked. They mad. They mad because they getting cooked now. It used to be black folks only getting cooked. Now all of them getting cooked.
Yeah, exactly. It's karma, really. It's a beautiful time, to me at least.
Fan, you ain't shit.
And thanks for having me. I actually just missed a phone call, so I got to drop down.
Oh,
but much love to y'all.
See you later, Pan.
Nice to meet you.
See you later, Pan. Okay. Yeah. So that's how it works. That's all you got to do is look it up. This is how it works. And he's saying, oh, well, we're going to stop. Because I saw that in the article. He's going to stop giving the blue states funds. I would stop sending that extra money, Famous.
I want to know. I hear everybody in the red states talking about my gas prices went down. My gas prices went down. Why is the blue states gas prices haven't left $4? I mean, I drive a Charger, so I take 89 gas, 91. How come our gas hasn't went down?
Because they lying.
Yeah, I mean, I do OTR, over the road truck driving. Yes, I do see $2.81 to 31 cents in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And a couple other states, but those are only red states, unless Arizona's a blue state. Is Arizona a blue state? I'm not too sure.
Arizona, I think Arizona is like a purple state. It's not all it's not rainbow. It's like a purple.
You know, I only see red states that are down. I don't see blue states. I mean, they said Northern California is down to $2 and something cents at a particular gas station, but
Mhm.
you have to travel 45 minutes to get that gas from San Francisco. I mean, not when I think of gas prices going down, every gas station,
Mm.
everyone, not just one or two. I
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, famous. The
yes.
president doesn't have anything to do with gas. President doesn't have anything to do with gas. The president can call up the Saudi Arabia people and say, "Hey, why y'all can't do a reasonable price on y'all gas? Why
Uh-huh.
y'all can't give us a reasonable price on your gas?" He can call them up and say that, but he
But
ain't did that, and so we know that. So the
okay.
president has nothing to do with gas.
Okay, I'm still immature in politics, HQ, just to let you know. You probably already hear it, but I'm still learning. I'm still
Mhm.
learning.
No, when people say the gas went down,
Uh-huh.
the president has nothing. Wait a minute, hold on. Just look at this fact. Just look at this.
Uh-huh.
Who, where are we getting the gas from? Ain't we getting our gas from Saudi Arabia and places
Yeah.
like that? Okay, so so they set the price, right? They
Yes.
set they price the way they want to set the price. They say you gonna pay $5 a gallon for my price. That's how much you got to pay for the oil, right?
Right.
You that's how much you got to pay. You think that Donald Trump called them people up and said, "Hey, I want my people's gas to be $2 instead of $5. Y'all better lower the price."
Wouldn't that be simpler than stealing the oil or something? Or
No, he don't have nothing to do with the oil. He don't have nothing to do with the pricing.
so
That's
then he just talking mess, then saying he can lower the gas
of
prices. Then,
course, of course, of course he is.
uh,
He has influence. He has influence, and that influence means he can call them up and say, "Hey, lower your price." But he don't control if they lower it or not. He can't tell them what to do. He can't just flip a switch and say, "Well, shit, y'all in the United States lower the price and lower the price." That's not how that happens.
hmm.
It don't happen that way. President has nothing to do with it except he can make a phone call and they can say, "No, Mr. President, I'm not dropping my price," and then that's that. He don't have nothing to do with them dropping it, and I bet you he ain't calling them up saying that. I bet you
Hmm.
he ain't calling nobody saying lower the prices nowhere because he can't. That's not how that works.
Wow. Okay. I need to look into that. How do gas prices get dropped?
Yeah, how do gas prices get dropped?
Mm.
How do gas prices drop? The president has little, if no, he has influence, but he has very little influence on how prices are did with gas. So
Oh,
when
so
people
he.
say, "Oh, he lowered the gas, he
Uh huh.
lowered my gas," no, he didn't. He didn't do anything.
Mm. So he think by doing tariffs is going to scare these people to
Mm-hmm.
lower the gas prices, and really, it's just making them madder and spiteful towards
Yeah,
Americans. I think maybe
right.
that's my opinion.
You can have influence on things, but you can't. The one thing those OPEC, them rich Arabian dudes ain't
Yeah.
listening to no Donald Trump. They can stay. Them rich Arabian dudes can live off the oil for the rest of their life and live in that damn country and not talk to Donald Trump one time and don't have to worry about nothing.
I would think a president would need to know different cultures to speak to them.
Oh, he
You
spoke
know?
to that. He spoke to that one dude who killed the reporter. He spoke to him.
Oh.
That's the
Mm.
one dude. He's from Saudi. He's from I think Saudi Arabia or somewhere from there. He's the crown prince, right?
That's not how it works, HQ.
No,
Okay.
I didn't
Yes.
say any way. I didn't say any way that it worked. I didn't say no
What
way
is
that
this?
it worked. No, just let's be
No,
clear. Let's be clear.
no, no.
HQ didn't say no way in which it works. I said the
Oh,
president don't have no influence on the oil. That's all that I said. I haven't said how it
no,
works. I don't know how it
no.
works.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you because it is my industry. Famous, you are a truck driver just like I am. Famous, I am on the
Okay.
oil and gas. I am on the oil and gas side of the industry.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
gas prices. I am just now leaving Coachella, California, on the team. And if you're a truck
Oh, I'm in
driver, you
Bakersfield
stop.
right now. I just left.
Okay, so if you're a truck driver and you ever stopped at one of these Indian-owned casinos, Chevy's, Saboba, Morongo, any of those places down there, it's cheaper because the gas comes out of Vegas, and the Indians don't have to pay state taxes. The gas in California is higher because of the state tax that is placed on the gas. So the further you go to the Midwest and to the South, where those poor people are, we've all been, as a truck driver, you've all been to those towns that got a Walmart every 200 miles. We got
Yes.
5 or 8 of them in Las Vegas. Okay, so when you go to the poor places that they don't have state taxes, and the taxes you don't pay taxes on food or anything like that. In California, you have to pay per plastic bag. When you get a plastic bag, you got to pay for a plastic bag. So it's just the amount of tax that is on the gas that makes the difference.
When I was a company driver, is that why they told me get your gas outside of California?
100%. If at all possible, you fill up in Arizona or Vegas, because we don't have state taxes in Vegas either, right? And then you try and run as far as you can, then you fill up and get out of California. It's because of the state tax.
It's because of the state taxes. Okay. All right. California's got a lot of state taxes out here, man. Shoot. All right.
Well, I mean, you're in Bakersfield. If you went and bought a honey bun in Bakersfield rather than Vegas or Texas or Utah, if the honey bun is $1, you're going to pay $1.20 in California. If it's $1 in Vegas, you're going to pay 99 cents. There's no tax, so that makes a huge difference.
Okay. All right.
So that's all. That's all I'm saying, HQ. And yes, the president. Once again, the gas, Arco, Citgo, any kind of 7-Eleven, that gas does not come from overseas. That oil, it comes from America. All of that oil is pumped from Alaska, New Mexico, like Albuquerque, is in North and South Dakota. All of these places are pumping oil out of the ground. So the oil is coming from America, and it's being refined in America. So it doesn't have anything to do with that, like, for real.
So what can we do with that stolen oil or the oil they seized? Can we bring it back here and refine it? Do we have enough refineries to refine it?
Well, so this is the whole thing about Venezuelan oil, right? So Venezuelan oil, the reason why he did mention that it's coming out of the ground so slow, Venezuelan oil is it has a high viscosity, right? It's very, very thick.
Okay.
So without them being able to have the infrastructure intact and being able to refine it properly, they can pull very little out of the ground at a time and then refine it and then do the process over and over again. And California has 5 refineries, right? It's all upgraded and it has the best technology. So if you had something like a California refinery over there, instead of pulling 100 barrels out of the ground a day, you'd be able to pull 100,000 barrels out of the ground every day. So it's just that they let their infrastructure, which America did own that infrastructure at one time, they let their infrastructure get too old, too weak, too decrepit, and then they kick all of the big companies out, and you have a bunch of people that don't know exactly what they're doing, trying to make it work. And then, there's no innovation. It's no innovation because the people just aren't smart enough to keep coming up with different things.
Times he just speak to the president, right? He said 2. And they just spoke about the weather. It was like but he was never authorized to sign. And I think 95% of the things were signed by AutoPen. You can tell because the AutoPen is a nice, clean signature, and his signature is a mess. The only thing he signed was, which is nice, was Hunter's pardon. That's the only thing that we can find that he signed. Most of it he didn't sign. So somebody's sending papers to sign, and he wasn't the president. First of all, the election was rigged. You ought to have voter ID. You ought to insist on it. Can you imagine? In California, they not only don't have voter ID, but if an official at the voting booths, which they don't have, by the way, because it's all mail, if an official, a voting official, even asks somebody for voter ID, sir, would like to see your identification. Do you come from our country? They put him in jail for tampering with the election. Okay? We got to straighten this out before it gets too crazy. California is more corrupt than any place. California is more corrupt than Minnesota. And I won Minnesota. Well, Tom's going, I think so. Well, it's close. It can't be proportionately, probably nothing's more corrupt, right?
Listen to the way he talks. Listen to the way that he talks.
He doesn't like Gavin Newsom. That's why he don't like
crazy.
Gavin.
That's wild.
He's crazy.
This is wild. I mean, it's like, don't nobody want to call out the craziness that we hear. Why you just don't want to call the craziness out? This don't even make no sense to me. He's right, though. What? What do you mean he's right?
A lot of his supporters see eye to eye with him. They're just like him.
I know. But see, the thing is, he's wrong. He's wrong.
He's not completely wrong, Ace. So the thing about being on the right or the left, I'm in the middle. The thing about being on the right or the left, there's truth mixed in with the lies, and it gets bad because people can't tell where the lies begin and the truth ends. You know what I mean? So, it's just like when you tell people that, California sends more taxes in than any other state. California has 39 million people in California. It's like the most populated state in the union. And yes, so there's going to be more money coming from California than, let's say, a place like Wyoming or Nebraska, where
but here's the thing. But as a president, why are you attacking the one state that is sending you more money than is needed to help you run the government?
Have you ever been to California?
Yeah, I've been to California.
Have you ever been to? Okay, so you've been to California. Have you ever been to Idaho?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were in Idaho, how many Black, Mexican, or people that are other did you see besides when you went to California?
I didn't really see a lot. No.
Yeah. So once again, Famous is a truck driver just like I am, and he's up in Bakersfield. If he's on the 5 or the 99 and he's headed north up into Oregon, and as soon as you get to Oregon, you stop seeing anybody. Like, there are other people in other states, but it's a dramatic difference. So middle America is full of white people. It's not like California or Vegas where it's a mixture and everything. It's full of other, like white people.
Right.
So I was working in South Dakota. It was me, and the whole time I was there, I seen 3 other black people. Over the course of like 4 months. It's not the same. So as long as he gets to speak nice things to the white people, they're gonna be on the side. It's not a problem. It's just people have their sides. They pick them, and that's what I'm going. That's what they're going.
The people who that Tyson plant is finna close. Racism costs you a lot of money because
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
It's a plant that's about to close in a town. The plant employs 3,000 people, and it ain't nothing but 10,000 people in the town. It's gonna cost you a lot to have voted for Donald Trump. It's gonna cost you a lot.
No, it's not, because they're gonna have to open it back up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, once again, me and Famous are in the same business.
Why do they have to open it up?
Well, because once you lose one distribution plant, and you said Tyson, so you're probably talking about like chicken and stuff like that. If you lose a distribution plant in one area, you're not going to be able to maintain feeding people in that area.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So they're going. But you have other plants like JBS is another one that processes meat and stuff like that. So even if they do close the Tyson down, JBS or somebody else is going to come in. I've been doing trucking. I've hauled livestock, chickens, pigs, dirt. I've done it all in this business, HQ. You cannot. A place like Costco gets tissue 2 to 3 times a day, a full load of tissue. You can't have a gap, else people run out. And something like chicken, people will run out in over the matter of a day and a half. Am I lying, Famous?
Right. No, I
Yes,
looked
I
it up.
concur.
I looked it up. This is in Nebraska. In Nebraska, they're about to close this Tyson plant, a beef processing facility in Lexington, Nebraska. It's going to permanently close the beef plant because of the tariffs or taxes that they've been having to pay. 3,200 employees getting broke off, and it's only 11,000 people in the town. And they finna reduce their shifts in Amarillo, Texas. It ain't closing, but they finna reduce their shifts from 2 shifts down to one and a half or one whole or whatever. And so it's expected to majorly impact Nebraska. This is the kind of town where they close a plant. They close a plant that employ 1/3 of the town.
Yeah, that's going to affect trucking, especially the ones like us in the reefer division, because we haul ground beef and beef.
That town is going to die. That town is
going
to die.
And that's what I'm telling you, HQ, is they're not going to be able to maintain it. They're not going to be, just like Famous just said, it's going to affect the truck and everything. You guys don't realize everything will start shutting down. It'll shut down too quick. And you just can't do that. You can't.
Yes, you can, because this president didn't concern himself. See, here's the thing. The reason why Tyson is closing is because it's a chain effect. Didn't the president stop buying beef from regular farmers here in the United States, and he decided that he was going to take beef from Argentina? Didn't he say he was going to take beef from Argentina and ours is going to be put on the back burner?
They made a deal to buy extra beef, but not completely shut out American beef, HQ. That's why That's why
The
I don't
American,
like
the
it with this.
American, the American herd is the smallest, or the amount of herds is the smallest it's been in decades. In decades. That's the reason why they have to close the plant. They have
So
they're
then you know what that
producing
means.
the cattle.
Then that means that the beef in America is too expensive.
Mm.
If you have, it's like buying
Why is
bison.
the
Have you ever had
why is the beef expensive in the United States? Why?
Because you just said if it's the Americans' herds are the smallest they've ever been, if you have a low supply of something, the price goes way up. It's like buying bison. You know what bison is? Bison meat is delicious, but I only eat it once or twice a year because I'm cheap. I don't like paying a lot for bison steaks or bison ground beef. So you don't you don't eat it because bison once again is expensive because it's damn near an endangered animal.
Mm, mm, mm.
Only in Yellowstone, I think they have them. I seen them walking across the street. I had to stop. Wow.
Wow. I don't know. All I know is we undergoing a significant change in this country, and it's not necessarily for the better. It's just not necessarily for the better. I don't know. Let's keep going.
He says you got to win. I'll tell you what, I did great there 3 times. I was surprised 3 times. Those elections are corrupt. They got you 1 time too, but I heard a long time ago, but they got you. But they got to straighten those out. But we have to have voter ID. And you know, when you confront a Democrat about voter ID, like in a debate or something, I said it a couple of times with Biden, and they're very embarrassed when they say, we want voter ID, voter identification. This the only reason.
But see, why did we need voter identification? That's the point. The point is the elections have worked just fine the way they are. The elections have worked perfectly fine.
Do you believe in voter ID, HQ?
Yeah, if it's necessary. What difference does it make whether we have it or not? Secure
So-
what vote?
So
We ain't had no fraud in the voting, so secure what vote? What are y'all talking about?
we don't want immigrants voting. So do you agree with voter ID?
We don't want immigrants voting. Wait a minute. What's the percentage of immigrants voting? Let's look this up. What's the percentage?
You can't look at it like that. Because even if it ever happened, even once, it's too much. You see what I'm saying? I just don't think what
you don't throw
are saying from the other side.
You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. That's what you're talking about doing. That's what you're talking about doing.
Hey,
you're talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
I gotta go though. HQ, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Nice chatting with you guys.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
famous.
sir.
Thank you. Yeah, but you're talking about turnover. You're talking about throwing out the baby with the bathwater. And it's fine. We can have voter ID, but you might disenfranchise regular, everyday, ordinary voters. I get it. If you say we got to have voter ID in place in January, then that gives people an opportunity to get any voter IDs that they may need. You might be able to get all the voter IDs and everything put into place before it's time to vote. That's crazy. But if you do that,
then why would people fight? Then why would people fight against it? Why would people fight against it?
Look, I don't know. You act like you don't understand why they would be asking for voter ID. Every time, if everybody,
I do understand. I do understand. It's a racist. It's a racist connotation behind it.
No.
Black people to count jelly beans.
It ain't got nothing to do with race. It's got to do with the totals. The Republicans are asking for voter ID because they know that asking for voter ID. Most people don't walk in with an ID. Most people don't have an ID. Maybe some people don't have an ID, whatever. The Republicans are only asking for voter ID because they're hoping that people are disenfranchised by asking for an ID. And a lot of people will be just like they cut off women, just like they cut off people from voting early, just like they cut off people from voting certain amount of time, certain time, when, how, whatever, just like they cut off all of that. They're trying to disenfranchise voters. We don't care about voter ID. We don't care about voter ID.
We as Americans, hold on, HQ. We as Americans, all of us, especially men, right? I don't know about women, but we all have a face ID here in America from the time we are 15 and a half and then 16 when we get our driver's license. That is a voter ID. It's an ID saying who you are.
See, I'm all for voter ID. That's great. Long as you don't disenfranchise other people. That's great. I'm all for voter ID. I'm all for voter ID.
So who would be disenfranchised then? And that's just my question. Who would be disenfranchised? If it would be the people that can't get an ID.
There's all kinds of people that could be disenfranchised because of it. Poor people, older people, X, Y, and Z. I mean, you just never know. My whole point is when everybody votes, Republicans lose because Republicans have shitty policies. When everybody votes, then Republicans lose. So they're trying to make sure that they disenfranchise some of these voters because most of these voters are Democratic voters. Most people who vote are Democratic voters. If all of the electorate voted, the most of them would be Democratic. And they're trying to disenfranchise. This is the history that the Republicans have had since I was a kid. They've been purging the road. Wait a minute. Listen to me. Listen. Who is the one who's going around the country trying to redraw the districting maps so they can get more votes? The Republicans. Who is asking for voter ID around the country that will disenfranchise people? Republicans. Who is the one who keeps filing about fraud? Wait a minute, but listen, I'm telling you that's why that is, we've always known that's how they wanted to do it. The Democrats ain't doing that. The Democrats wouldn't be bothered with gerrymandering. Democrats wouldn't be bothered with voter ID. Democrats wouldn't be bothered. Why are you worried about immigrants voting when there's less than X, Y, and Z voting as an immigrant? It's not that many people. Even if you said that immigrants, even if you didn't do no kind of voter ID, there's less than 1% of immigrants may or may not be voting through some kind of deception. They ain't gonna throw race one way or the other. So why are you worried about voter ID?
They absolutely would. Answer me this.
No, they won't, because you gotta have ID. You gotta have something.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who would the Hispanic people most likely vote for, HQ? Answer me that.
The Democrat.
No, they wouldn't. The Hispanics.
Go back and look at all the races. Go back and look at all the races for president.
Democratic. Hispanic people overwhelmingly vote Republican, conservative.
They vote Democrat. Look at the races. Look at how much Kamala won. Kamala won the Hispanic vote by 55%. Donald Trump won it by 45%. Hispanic people overwhelmingly vote Democratic. It's only in certain pockets of the country that they vote Republican. Most of the time, they vote Democratic. Go look at all of the presidential races, and you will see that they vote Democratic.
So So you're talking about a state by state thing then? Is that what
No,
you're
I'm not
talking
talking
about?
about
Because
state
from no, because what I seen, Hispanic males vote
No, we're
mainly
not
for
talking about
Donald Trump.
males. We're talking about percentage of all Hispanics. We're not talking about males. We're talking
Okay,
about
all right. So
percentage.
I'll have to look at it. I'll have to take a look at that because I'm not 100% sure, but they for the overall of it, I thought it
Voter
was 65%
overall, the
for
voter overall,
Hispanic.
51 to 55% voted for Kamala. 43 to 48% voted for Trump. Primarily, they vote Democratic. Biden won 60% of the Hispanic vote. Harris won 50 to 66% of the vote. How much did Obama win? Obama won Hispanics by what? Obama won Hispanics by 67%. Hispanics historically vote Democratic. That it is just what it is. And you could this is the and even in this race with Donald Trump, Hispanics overwhelmingly voted Democratic. They always vote Democratic mostly. Okay. You don't got to believe me. Just go back and read. Just go back and look it up. Just go back and look it up. Every Democratic president in my lifetime, Obama, Clinton, Joe Biden, and Kamala for her running, every last one of them the Hispanic vote went to the Democrat. Democrats, Hispanics overwhelmingly vote Democratic. It's only pockets that vote Republican. That's it. Look it up. I ain't gotta lie to you. Just look it up. That's all. Yeah, I ain't gotta lie to you. Just look it up. That's all. Just look it up. I ain't gotta lie. Everybody in the chat, just go Google it. Google it 10, 20 times. Just Google it 10, 20 times. Who won the bulk of the Hispanic vote all across the country in the 2024 election, in the 2020 election, and in the 2008 election? Just go look it up. I ain't got to lie to you.
Somebody doesn't want that, it's because they want to cheat. Our elections are crooked as hell. And you could not only win elections over that, and not only win future elections, but you'll win every debate because the public is really angry about it. And you ought to pass the SAFE Act, or whatever you're going to call it. Are we going to SAVE Act or the Save America Act? I think we're going to change the name a little bit. You're going to put that up for a vote? I think everybody in this room certainly should do it. And it's a big...
No, we don't have a call-in show, Thomas. We have a get on the panel show. We really don't have a get on the panel show. Famous and Black America came up here. I really don't have no get on the panel show or a call-in show.
Bad vote for them because they're voting against things like voter ID and other things that are almost equal to voter ID.
But I dropped the link if you wanted to come up here and say something.
When somebody says, no, we don't want voter ID, that means they're crooked. And the public understands it.
No, it's not a matter of us being crooked. We understand that you want to disenfranchise people. Okay. No, I'm not talking ignorant. You haven't, nobody in the chat can dispute what I said. You cannot dispute what I said. The president, and I said I said three definitive things. I said Hispanics overwhelmingly vote for Democratic candidates as a collective all across the country. You can't dispute that. I just said pockets could vote for X, Y, and Z, but overall, Hispanics vote for Democrats. 2, I said Donald Trump or the Republican Party only does 3 things when they get into office. They get tariffs going, which fucks up the economy. They do tax cuts for the rich, and then they try to get rid of Social Security, ACA, Medicaid. Those are the three things that they do. They do nothing else for the regular, ordinary man. Nothing. I said that as a definitive thing. I said that about the Hispanics. And the third thing I said as a fact is the president has nothing to do with gas prices. Those are the just look them up. These are not things that these are not things that we can have a conversation about. That's all you got to do is look up the facts. Don't ask me. Look up the facts. Present your facts. You don't have facts. Those are absolutely facts. not a question marks. That's wild. That's wild.
Doing elections with that. But I think it would be really important, Save America Act, if you would put that up for a vote. It's got my total endorsement. And all it is common sense things about the election. And they'll fight it like crazy because they cheat. That's the only way they can win.
The Democrats ain't cheating. You're cheating. When you all try to gerrymander all of those maps, that's what's called cheating. That's what's called cheating. He acts like he doesn't understand that. That's what it's called cheating. No, come up on the panel and tell me where I told a lie at. I want to know. I want to know where I told a lie at. That's what I want to know. Thomas says I'm lying. I said, come on the panel and tell me where I'm lying. Okay? Because you can't.
When you have policy so bad, when you have policy with...
How is policy so bad? This is what I want to know. How is Social Security bad? How is Medicaid bad? Medicare bad? How is those things bad? You see what I'm saying? This president wants to get rid of programs that help the regular, ordinary, everyday American, but he don't want to put anything into place. They want to get rid of medical, but they don't want to put anything back into place. They just want to take it away. Every time the Republicans get into office, they want to take away Social Security safety net stuff, and they don't want to replace it. They just want you to be poor. They never do anything for the middle class. They never do anything for the middle class. And nobody has put in the chat what the big, beautiful bill has done for you. Nobody has done it. See, here's the thing. This is about the election. And he wants to burn this into people's minds. He calls the election rigged, pushes voter ID as the obvious cure. Voter ID has got to be the cure for having a safe and fair election. And then he suggests that anybody who doesn't support his preferred election bill must be crooked or planning to cheat. But nobody was out there trying to change the maps except Republicans. Everybody knows that you Republicans tried to change the maps, the demographic maps, so y'all would win. Everybody knows that. Okay? His logic is, I lost, therefore the system is corrupt. Anybody who questions my claims about the election is part of the corruption. This is what we getting in the chat. And reform, I don't control, I suspect. This is not about improving the election administration. This is about conditioning the goofy goofies, his base, to only trust results that he likes. In a healthy system, both parties argue about policy, but still accept the basic rules of the game. We count the votes, we certify the votes, we transfer the power, and we fight again the next cycle. What he's trying to say is his winning is legitimate. Losing is proof of us cheating, us Democrats cheating, and the only trustworthy outcome is the one that he likes. And then that's the goofy part about it. You got goofy goofies believing that. That's how democracy slide away from competitive politics towards this grievance shit, where no loss is acceptable. Every person believes that if Donald Trump don't win, it's a fake. If Donald Trump don't win, if a Republican don't win, we cheated. Instead of being a shitty human being who don't want to take care of his people, he can't be a shitty human being. He got to be right. He can't be a shitty human being. No, your president is a shitty human being.
You did everything else, but she said, I've never been hit like that before. I don't want to go out again. You can do it. You can do it. Bang. She walked off. She said, he happened to win the gold medal, that young woman. He won the gold medal. There were two transition people. They both won gold medals. The whole thing is ridiculous. You have policy on your side. They don't have policy on your side. Right? You have policy.
What? I'm trying to figure out what policy. Why is it that the why is the United States rejecting Donald Trump? Why is Donald Trump's approval rating a 93? I mean, a 38? Why is his approval rating low like that? If his policies are so amazing, why is everybody rejecting him? Why is it that every time we go into the voting booth lately, the blue states win? Why is that? Why is it that when people go into the booth these days, why is it that the Democrat wins? Why is that? If we have shitty policies, if our platform is so shitty, why are we winning? Because they don't like your policy. Has nothing to do with the Democrat. They just don't like your policies. This is what he's not saying. They just don't like my policy. You're right. They don't like your policies. So therefore, they're shitty policies for the people. Every time a Democrat has gone into the booth, they've won. Why is that? Why is that?
And I saw this guy fighting like hell. The swimming records is ridiculous when you look at the swimming, any records. It's crazy. And it's so demeaning to women. Women are and for a long time, they refused to talk about it. They were embarrassed to talk about it. Now they...
Wait a minute, hold on, Thomas. Thomas, what's not true? What's not true? Every time somebody go in the booth, a Democrats won so far. Only one I seen that we didn't win was in Tennessee. So far, so good.
They do talk about it. They talk about it openly, but they have the worst policy on everything.
I know. It's embarrassing for you, Thomas. It's embarrassing. You were so gung-ho to debate me, you don't know how to click a link. You were so gung-ho, but didn't know how to click a link.
Open borders. We want open borders. You know, they still want an open border. We did the greatest.
Knowing full well, we have never said that we wanted an open border. But if he continued to say that same thing, goofies are going to believe it. They're going to believe it. Every time. Open border. We have an open border. Yeah, we got an open border. That's wild. There's the link right there.
Best job ever on borders. And I think they forgot it. My guy said to me today, I have a great guy, Ross. He's the greatest speechwriter. He said, sir, let's not mention the border. Nobody cares about the border anymore.
What do I think we should do? I think we should have universal health care, single payer health care. I think we should have free school lunch for every child in this nation. I believe we should have free college for every person who wants to go and go as far as they can so we can have smart, intelligent people in this country. These are the things that I believe in. Can we get any of that? We giving money to Israel. We giving money to Argentina. We giving money to Ukraine. We spending money on ballrooms. We spending money on lawsuits. Why can't we get something for the middle class people? Why can't the middle class people get something? Why is that? Y'all goofy as hell. Y'all goofy as hell. This is the kind of pushback we get. This is the kind of pushback we get when we say we want free college for everybody. This kind of pushback we get. But yet and still, not one of y'all got pushback for the president who gave billions of dollars, millions of dollars to the rich people. Not one of y'all got pushback for him giving money to Israel? Not one of y'all got pushback for him giving billions of money to Argentina? All them people got free, all them countries got free health care. All them people got free college for their people. Why they giving them money to them? And we don't have it. But it's socialism if we do it for us. But it's okay if we give them money. It's okay if America come last. It's okay if America come last from you Republicans, from you MAGAs. It's okay if y'all come last. I'm talking about putting America first. American people first. Stop giving them people money and then start helping the people in this country. But that's okay. Y'all want to pay, y'all want to give stuff to everybody else. That's cool. I get it. That's cool. You want to give other countries money, and other countries get free schooling, other countries get free health care. Go on. Yeah, that's cool. I'm America first. I don't know what y'all is. Apparently I'm socialist when I want to put America first. I want to make us smarter. I want to make us healthier. I want to make us better. No, I'm just a socialist. But it's okay to give the money to somebody else, and their population can do what they want to do with their money. They get free health care. Just goofy logic. They ain't nowhere near none of this garbage y'all spewing. America first.
Can you believe it? This was the biggest, this was the biggest thing there was. Just to me, nobody cares about the border because it has a shelf life. I fixed the border. I fixed it in my first term, but now I really had to fix it. It was much worse, when I came into office. Millions and millions of people were pouring into our country. And I fixed it. And my guy, who's incredible, says, people don't want to hear it, sir. You've done that. The problem is people forget that I did it. They totally forget. They were talking about the other day, we don't like Donald Trump on this. We don't like Donald Trump on that. And somebody just out of the blue said, well, he did an unbelievable job. Who cares about that?
Look at the goofy logic right here. Look at the goofy logic right here. Goofy logic. I tell you, I want American people to be able to go to college and afford college. I tell you, I want to make sure our kids eat lunch. I tell you all of these things, and the only thing you come up with is socialism. And you want to do something to make us downfall. Y'all goofy as hell. Why the hell would a goddamn president destroy the Department of Education and we way behind every other country? Why the hell would you do that? Y'all just don't be thinking. You just be talking. Just be talking. You destroy the Department of Education, but we all the way down the list of the smartest country on the planet. Make it make sense.
They're saying, that's been done. What do we do about that, Mike? Everything you do, it's almost like what have you done lately is the way you have to run your life. In other words, I could have the most unbelievable.
So you thought it would be beneficial. So you thought it would be beneficial to close the only educational department we got, Jeremy Pinnell, and replace it with what, Goofy? Boy, y'all just be talking. Y'all just be talking. Don't be thinking nothing out.
Years. And I guess they're not, I'm not allowed to run. I'm not sure. Is there a little something out there that I'm not allowed to run? But let's assume I was allowed to run. I could have, there's going to be a constitutional movement. No, I could have the most unbelievable 4 years. Everything was great. But in the last week, I made a little slip up in something, and you lose the election. It's like, so we can't let them forget that we did such a great job on the border. By the way, Venezuela, everyone, they're marching in the streets. They love it, except in New York. I mean, where they find these people? These people, and they're not these people are a mess. I know it's not nice to say that. These people are a mess. Where do they find these people?
Turn your camera off. I don't need.
They're the worst looking people I've ever seen.
Now, where are you? Turn your camera off. They can hear you. Thomas, they can hear you. Y'all let me know if you can hear Thomas. Are you going to say something, Thomas? Hello? Hello? He ain't speaking, so I can't hear him. He doing something, but he ain't talking. I ain't got him on mute. I ain't got him on nothing. I just don't see him. I ain't put him on camera because he ain't turned his camera off. People like to, when I get on camera, people like to show their dick. I ain't doing that. So he can talk right there. Everybody can hear him if he wants to talk. He don't even need to be on camera. Okay. Hello, Thomas. We can't hear you. He ain't saying nothing.
Really? They got hats that are all frayed and all. They look like they're all paid. They don't even know what they're talking. When the reporters don't interview them because they know that it's, the press is so anti. It's hard to believe the press can be so anti because it's all common sense. It's not we're conservative, whatever. Doesn't matter. We're all common sense people. It's not even conservative. It's common sense. But the press has no credibility whatsoever.
He's just not talking. He's not on anything. He's not saying it. Yes, you're backstage, but you ain't talking. I can't hear you. You are backstage, but if you talk, we can hear you. I need to know if you can talk first. Hello? You got to talk before I can tell. You got to talk. Unmute your mic. You ain't muted up here. Hello? Okay, unmuted. Can you hear now? You can hear me, but you can't talk. Something is wrong on your end. Because I haven't muted you. Now he's gone.
Of it, I got 97%.
Unmute your mic. We still can't hear you. No, you can always hear him back. I can hear him you can hear somebody when they're down there. Come up, Black America. Come up real quick. Just real quick. We're going to test it out. Test it out. Come up. Just for a second. Or somebody come up just for a second. Somebody come up just for a second so we can test this out. I ain't going to put you on camera. I just want to test out the sound. I want to make sure everything is right. Can somebody come up or nobody? I still can't hear Thomas. Can anybody come up? Wait a minute. Black America, can you hear me? Black America.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Black America. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can't hear me because I'm backstage.
Oh, okay. Now I see. Okay.
You can hear me because I'm backstage.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I told you you can't do it because it's backstage.
Now we can hear you. Now you can hear me now, right? Black America.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. But if you're backstage,
Thomas, can you hear me? Thomas, can y'all hear Thomas? Can y'all hear Black America?
I can't hear him. Can you hear me? This is like the Three Stooges. Who's going first? Yeah, is he backstage? Is he backstage?
No, he dipped from backstage. As soon as I put him up. See, what I did was I put y'all behind the picture because you know what happens when I put new people up. They get doing goofy shit. So I ain't trying to.
All right. Put me behind the picture and see if you can hear me.
Okay. Thomas.
What about now?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
I don't know why that wasn't working. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it now.
Okay. Everybody can hear everybody. Okay. So what was the argument that you were having with me in the chat?
Okay, but now before, let me preface this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hard Republican. I'm not hard Democrat. I've always been independent.
Okay.
That being said, sorry, there's a very long delay or like echo going on. So let me try something here.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing that like bothers me is when people have trouble with voter ID. There is nothing that's going to disenfranchise anybody by having something so simple as an ID. Are you American? Are you here legally or not? That's all.
Yeah, but see,
and to think that people don't have access to get IDs and stuff like that, that's nonsense. Have you ever seen these videos of reporters? They go all to the major cities, Democrat cities. They talk to poor neighborhoods and everybody. And when they say, hey, these people are trying to say you're disenfranchised by needing an ID or you're too ignorant to get an ID, it's nonsense. It's insulting.
But see, here's the thing. Not everybody has a government ID. Not everybody does.
So go get one.
Some people
they're $12.
Some people can't afford birth certificates. Some people don't have proof of address. Some people, it costs money. People may not have money to buy ID, to get ID.
I think that's nonsense. So you're talking about
people.
So you're talking about homeless people, HQ?
I'm talking.
You're talking about homeless people.
I'm just talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about homeless people. Everybody should be able to get their birth certificate and get an ID. And if you don't, then don't vote.
But this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying
So hold on. So hold on. We run a. Well, I don't run it anymore, but one of my girls runs a shelter, a homeless shelter, and we're involved with Catholic charities. So, with that being said, yes, there are situations to help people get those things. 100%. I help many people get their ID and birth certificates and things of that nature. The thing about it is, HQ, I don't care about the people that don't want to put in the actual work to do said. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand what Thomas is saying.
But I understand what you're saying, but it's just not getting a voter ID. You said, okay, they shouldn't have a problem getting voter ID. Just for example, I'm a lister. I'm going to tell you what they are, how people can be disenfranchised from voting. You said, I said money. Money is one. People in rural areas who don't live near DMVs, who don't have cars.
That is the worst argument. That is horrible.
I'm not done.
You got no problem getting to work. You got no problem getting to the grocery store, but you can't go get yourself an ID? Come on.
But that's not everybody. Two.
It doesn't matter. That's just a really, really bad argument. And that's one of my points I was having with you back and forth, because it's just a trash argument. Thomas, give her a minute. Give her a minute. Let her lay it out, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Two, they just put something in place that if you're married, your name may or may not match that ID. That's going to disenfranchise a lot of people, a lot of women, because the names may not match. College students get hit hard because college students live in Georgia, but they go to school in Iowa, can't make it back to vote. Older people may not have birth records. They may not have birth certificates. They may not have IDs. Poor people, a lot of IDs may not be accepted. You never know. These are the reasons why we say people might be disenfranchised. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying, but if you have enough people to hit 4 or 5 of those things, you got a couple 100,000 people that are disenfranchised throughout those states. So that's why they say they didn't want voter ID. It had nothing to do with the fact that we wanted people to cheat or immigrants or anything else. It's because of those particular factors that we said people might be disenfranchised. Sure, you could take one at a time and say, oh, you can get an ID, you can do this, you can do that. But then they were telling the students that lived in Georgia but had to go home and vote in Maine, that they couldn't vote. So these people get disenfranchised. There's different ways to be knocked out the game.
Hold on, Tom.
I actually agree with. Okay, go for it.
Hold on.
No, I'm done. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you the reasons why they said they didn't want voter ID to have a mandated ID, because there's reasons why people, it don't make a difference whether they have an ID for some, and some they can't get an ID.
The only thing that you said that I do agree with is like, let's say, for instance, like you said, you have a college student in Georgia, but he has an ID in Maine. Mm-hmm. I get that. Like, if that's keeping them from voting, that's a stupid rule, stupid part of the law. I think that if you have an ID showing who you are, and you are American and here legally, and you are of age, you should be able to vote wherever and get your vote and voice out there.
So why are we worried about a voter ID?
Because it's not just about voter ID. We keep saying the word voter ID. You just need an ID, an American state ID. That's your ID to vote.
But that's the whole point. The whole point is not to disenfranchise any of these people. They should be able to be on the rolls at some particular point. They were registered somehow, some way as American citizens, and then be able to vote. Very rarely have we had voter fraud where somebody voted and it was 1,000, 2,000 people that were immigrants and they're voting. This is the argument people keep making, and it is no argument so negligible that it's not even worth talking about.
Listen, that argument is already collapsed, considering it's now proven that Tim Walz in Minnesota wants to give over 100,000 illegal immigrants driver's license and the right to vote.
He wants to give legal immigrants a license. Those are people with green cards and DACA.
But HQ, all right. So y'all went back and forth. So this is my thing. HQ, I don't give a shit if they're a legal immigrant or DACA or not. They're not citizens. To me, they don't. It's not that they don't belong here. I don't care about it. They're not Americans. So they absolutely should not have the privilege to vote.
Amen.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, but they're on the road to being a citizen.
It doesn't matter. I was on the road to,
but we may not like it. It's the way it is. It's the way we wrote our laws that says that.
Okay, so when they become a citizen,
I don't even know if they vote. I don't even know if those people vote. I don't know.
They can't vote. So they're not supposed to.
Right, and that's what we're saying. When they become a citizen, me and Mr. Thomas probably would agree that after they have become a citizen, they then have the right to vote. But until then, they should not be able to bask in the privileges of America. So I understand what you're saying on that, HQ. I think that's where the left and the right start to get so far apart, is because people on the left just want everything to be hunky-dory and roses and bubbles and butterflies. And
what happened?
Yeah, what did happen? Was he still talking?
Yeah, he went off the rails. Black America? Okay, he went off the rails. Okay, what was your other issue that I said?
Okay, so the thing is, again, we have to. I preface it by saying again, like, it comes down to like the vote. Okay, who would I rather vote for, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? Unfortunately, you got to go with the lesser of the two evils. And unfortunately, here's a woman that let the border stay wide open, 15 million illegal immigrants pouring across the border. And where are they being brought to? Majority blue states and sanctuary cities. And now they're discussing giving them the right to vote. Why would that be? Let's not pretend we don't know the answer.
Giving them the right to vote. I haven't seen anything that says they're trying to give them the right to vote.
Of course, it's all they've been talking about for the last couple of years since we had this catastrophe at the border.
I'm saying to you, can you provide a source that says they're giving them the right to vote? Because I haven't seen it.
It's not that they're giving them the right to vote. It's that that's what the eventual plan is. And that's when you see stuff like Tim Walz giving those people all these driver's license. Look how many people they just had to revoke driver's license from who shouldn't have them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they get to vote.
It does, because they had a driver's license.
But see, on this driver's license would be a special marker that would say that they would be illegal or legal or whatever. So therefore,
right. But you had mail-in ballots and all that during the Biden election, and sure enough, in the middle of the night, his votes shoot up and he wins the election. And listen, I'm not trying to do the stealing election stuff. I don't want to talk about that. I don't like that because they both do it. Biden says they stole it. Hillary says they stole it. Trump says they stole it. I can't stand that stuff.
But I thought you heard the phone call between Trump and the Georgia legislature where they explained those vote tallies went up in the middle of the night. You didn't hear that phone call where they explained?
I'm supposed to believe that phone call as if these politicians don't lie on both sides?
They're your Republican counter. They're your Republican legislators. Why would
I'm not Republican? I told you that.
So why wouldn't you believe them? Why wouldn't you?
Because they're all not. I don't think that any of these politicians have our best interest in mind. But that being said, we talk about the policies. Did you mention the Department of Education, didn't you?
Yes.
The thing about the Department of Education is it's obviously failing. You've got 5-year-olds learning to change their gender. You've got college kids being indoctrinated into wanting and accepting socialism and communism. They're literally paying to get that education. It's corrupt as can be.
Hold on. What? Wait a minute. Whoa. It was so much stuff in there. What do you mean communism and socialism? I'm confused about it.
So, you see all these college campuses getting into all these debates with different people and stuff like that. They all think that socialism means let's all just own nothing and be happy and collect income and we don't got to do nothing, because they don't understand that it leads to terrible things.
What does it lead to? I've never seen a socialist country completely.
Oh, every single one that tried has failed.
So why would we be why would we be going down that path if it's already failed? Nobody's saying
because there is corruption in the universities. You've got China, you've got other countries that are trying to get into our education system, and the Department of Education is paid off within it, and they are teaching our kids to be the dumbest people in the world.
Yeah, but that's your opinion. That's not.
It's not. We score lowest across the board in education. It's failing.
So why, if we're failing so terribly, why would you close the only institution that would have any kind of checks or balances in it to help people learn? Why not?
Because they ain't checking nothing. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Why not fix the system? Why would you destroy the whole system?
They want to fix the system. Get rid of the system that's broken and corrupt and start something new.
Why wouldn't you work within the bounds of what you have?
Because it's corrupt. You got to get it gone.
But how?
And they're trying. They're firing people. They're defunding the people that have all these funds and do nothing with them.
But see, they have no intention of replacing it. They have no intention of replacing it. You do know that, right?
That's nonsense.
They have no intention of replacing it.
It's nonsense. You yelling it louder doesn't make it any better.
You have to look at the book. You have to look at their plans. The 2025 plan, the 2020 that playbook. You have to look at those plans. They plan to abolish the Department of Education all the way across the board, sir.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They're not.
I know that.
Bring any of it back. They're not planning to bring it back.
They don't need it. They don't need it.
What do you
They
mean?
don't need it. You have a federal government trying to control the education of every state. No, give the power to the states, start their own unions so they could decide what to teach our children and where to allocate funds.
Wait a minute. I thought they did that already.
That's what we think, but we got people in the higher ups trying to tell us how to govern the schools, what to teach the kids, and it ain't working. And it's getting worse and worse.
Wait a minute. The federal government doesn't tell the states how to regulate what they have to regulate. Maybe they'll tell them that all of the students have to graduate with a 12th grade education, but that's as far. They don't make the rules and regulations and what people learn from the federal government. They give you guidelines, very general guidelines, and the state decides their own.
That's not true. And let me tell you why. All you got to do is look up all the different videos on YouTube or anywhere else showing how many principals, how many teachers, how many doctors got fired for not wanting to go along with the curriculum that was detrimental to children's education.
What curriculum? What do you mean?
The curriculum of teaching LGBTQ studies to children, gender crap, and racism instead of talking about history and math and science.
Wait a minute, hold on. First of all, racism is history, so therefore you cannot take it out of the schools. That is what it is. You're not going to rewrite history. That's something we cannot do.
No, racism is what it is, but you don't go around telling every single person the reason this happened is bad white people, and the reason this happened is because of racism, and it's all institutionalized. No. Just teach the facts of history and move on. That's not what's happening. We got kids coming out of school hating each other over the color of their skin now.
Wait a minute. Now, you mean to tell me you think a teacher, a white teacher that's teaching a white classroom is going around saying that you all should hate each other because there was racism in the past?
Yes, there's actually news stories about that. Yes. White people, I'm sorry, we're all bad. You're bad. They're bad because of your skin color. Like, no, it's 2026. Let's move on and help each other and fix this horrible, problem that we have in this country, which is corrupt politicians, corrupt government, and all of the things we're talking about is
okay. Black America wants to say something. What? Oh, I'm sorry, Black America. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Black America. I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
All right. Mr. Thomas, can you hear me okay?
I can, sir.
All right. So now I gotta kind of differ with you. I do agree with the agenda, right? Because I got 16 kids and one of them is an 8-year-old. So yes, I do not want anybody coming and reading to her that's not a male or a female, and we know that they are male and female. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to. I don't really want to say it, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
I do.
I don't. So I 100% agree with you on that. But racism and teaching history in an accurate manner. Yes, we need to know that Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great went around the world tearing stuff up. Just like we need to know that in the past, the white people in our country fucked shit up for other people. Because it's part of history. We don't
Absolutely.
In America, we don't have a problem saying that Hitler did atrocious things to people. So we need to be able to admit things. And I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. It's 2026. Black people are not getting reparations. And the only way to move forward is to move ourselves forward as one, as a country, as white Americans and black Americans together. Because we are American.
Amen.
We are not fucking
Amen.
you know,
Hold on real quick. Somebody's ringing our doorbell. Hold on.
okay. We are not two separate entities in this country. We are Americans first. When we go and suit up and protect this country, we are Americans. We don't look at nobody. You can't tell a Green Beret is black or white once we got our war paint. So, but I do think that our children do need to know and have an accurate depiction of what happened in the past, because you seem like an educated man, probably far smarter than me, and we all know the term. You need to know the past so that you don't repeat it in the future. So, but go ahead. I just wanted to get that out to you. You know what I mean?
Black America. Is that what I should call you?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Because
okay.
And let me give you context. I hate the term African American. I hated that since I was a kid because I don't know any fucking Africans. You know what I mean? And when I was young, I mean, I've traveled now that I'm old, but when I was young, I'd never been to Africa, and they look like little starving kids with swollen bellies. I'm not a fucking African. I am a Black American. So go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. Amen. And, you know, I think maybe I explained it a little bit wrong. Obviously, there is racism throughout history, but racism also exists throughout the world and not just in America. And what I don't like seeing is these kids coming out of high school and going into college, and even white people are screaming at each other like they up to other people like, you're white, you're a white man, you're bad. And anytime somebody has a different point of view than you, they're screaming racism with no context about anything regarding race. And it's all because it's being taught in schools. You know what I mean? It's not being taught responsibly. Like, we need to, why isn't people out there talking about stuff in a way that brings us together so we can work together? And this right versus left, Trump versus Biden, Trump versus Kamala, it's so detrimental to us all. And I think that what bothers me, again, is the host. She was saying, you know, all these policies. And I'm like, yo, you show me what policies during this Biden administration that were so great. Open borders, high gas prices, rent going up, mortgage rates going up. Like, everything was bad.
So Tom, I'm gonna keep it 100% real with you. All right.
Okay. Let's do it.
Are you married or have a woman in your life?
I do.
Okay. So the host, Miss HQ, she's like my sister. Okay. So, and she knows I don't say anything out of spite. I just tell the truth when I say things. She doesn't, us men, we think differently than women. Okay? You know what I mean. We think differently than women. So she doesn't really care about how and what men think about certain things or certain subjects. So the fact that we don't like the LGBTQ, she doesn't understand that wholeheartedly. She doesn't understand that, you know, drag kings or whatever called going to read to little kids. She doesn't see that as detrimental. She doesn't see that as straight American men, because we're not black or white men. We're just straight American men. She doesn't understand that the LGBT, whatever, that agenda is the worst thing for our country. And when we say these, and so when we say these things, she does not receive it because she's a woman. And she's yeah.
I was going to say that's what kind of comes back to the Department of Education for me. And under the Biden administration, you know, I think you and I would agree that LGBTQ plus all that stuff meant something very different even 10 years ago. If you were a transgender person, gay person, lesbian person, whatever, do you. But when it's all over TV and you got naked people running in the streets and reading to our 5-year-olds half naked with their balls hanging out, I got an issue with that. But for some reason, our president did not.
No, so the whole thing about it is, Thomas, for the most part, and me being a black man, right? For the most part, our women, even your woman as a white woman, they don't have a problem with that community and that agenda, right?
That's crazy to me.
They're not staunchly opposed to it like a straight men are. They're not. You even your wife or girlfriend or woman just so yeah, I have a gay friend. You know what I mean? For you and me to say, we say, yeah, we know gay people, but it's not like we're going over to their house to have a barbecue. They wouldn't mind. They wouldn't mind going to their house to have a barbecue or having a drink with them. So they're not opposed to where they don't understand why we vehemently disagree and are opposed. They don't have, and I don't want to use hatred because that's a strong word, but they don't have the protection in their heart and mind against that. That's us as men that have that. And they just don't understand. You know what I mean? So they're always going to push back when it comes to that.
Until it happens to them, until their daughter walks into a bathroom and a dude with a beard but a dress on walks in behind them.
But they don't care.
I disagree.
You can ask HQ. The women are starting to wake up now. I just seen a video of a lady in the gym and a guy was in the bathroom and they were yelling back and forth because the guy was in the bathroom and they ended up kicking her out. But for the most part, Thomas, the women don't care. You know what I mean? Like
I do know what you mean.
They don't understand it and they don't care. Well, because they're like everybody can be a girl. I have a gay friend. They don't understand that as being bad or detrimental. They don't.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that us guys can do it because then they call us cavemen and say we're Neanderthals because we don't like them. No, it's not like we're trying to chase them down and beat them. We're just saying, hey, just stay over there, away from us. You know what I mean? Don't bring your shit over here. They don't understand. They want a big, what they call the Democrats, the big tent umbrella, and that's what they want. Everybody can come.
I think that one of my biggest problems is just like navigating away from the LGBTQ stuff, like whatever. I think one of the problems I have is the how the media has been weaponized to turn anybody that's not Democrat or anything into such a bad person, including Trump, so much that no matter what he does, it can never be good. How can the last president take over $200-300 billion of the American taxpayers, send it to Ukraine with no vote, and convince people, yay, let's keep war going for them and help the Ukraine, so much that people who have nothing to do with Ukrainians are waving Ukraine flags outside of their house? But this president wants to stop fraud and corruption and found tens of billions of dollars in corruption, but he's Hitler.
Well, so this is the thing about that, right? And you gotta follow me just for a second.
Sure.
Me and HQ talked a couple of weeks ago, and I told her that we as men, we can no longer be men, right? When we do manly things now, they call it toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
right?
screw all that.
When we were young, we used to use the F word on everybody. Like, oh, we used to say that just joking with our friends and everything. Now, if you say one of those, now if you say that word, you're canceled, you're kicked out. You're going to lose your job. You lose your family. You lose. So we as guys, we can no longer be men. I think what a lot of people now, I'm not a Trump fan. I don't like Trump. I think he's a moron. I know that he's a liar, right? But what they don't understand is that he's a man and he's doing stuff in a manly form, shape, and fashion. And people do not like that because being a man now is toxic. It's Me Too. It's what's that? The Diddler. It's Diddy. It's R. Kelly. Everything that has to do with being a man now is looked at as bad, Thomas. You got to really look at it. Everything that we do now is looked at as bad or evil.
I know, but here's my problem with that. It is so geared into the minds of people that are hardcore Democrat, super anti-Republican, and I'm not Republican, so I'm not super anti-Democrat or the other. I try to see both sides and make decisions accordingly.
Okay.
But what I see is that anybody that agrees with anything that Trump does is wrong, it's bad, it's this and that. But like, I don't see what's wrong with fighting waste and fraud. I don't see what's wrong with stopping drug cartels from bringing drugs in, regardless of what the UN says. Because if you look at the stats, the overdose deaths in this country just in the last year or two have plummeted. Tens of thousands of lives saved. But screw you because you're Trump.
Okay,
don't
so
like
Thomas, I'm glad that you used that. You know what? They don't have a problem with that part. You know what the big thing HQ got a problem with? She got a problem with us blowing up the drug dealers and not giving them a fair chance because it's loss of life. Like I'm telling you, they don't think the same way that we do. They don't care about, well, you got to give them a fair chance. You got to let them surrender. No. When I was in the streets and gang banging and selling dope before I went to prison, I didn't give people chances. My dad told me bad guys do not bullshit. That's the number one rule of the streets. And if you deal with bad guys, you have to be a horrible person. America had kicked Hitler's ass. We dropped bombs on Japan and Nagasaki. We are not good people. But to deal with bad people, you have to be just as bad. It's not that people.
Y'all, I think y'all misrepresent. You all. I'm not saying you're misrepresenting what I'm saying. What I'm saying that I'm against. But it's maybe we're missing the boat on people. Maybe we're missing the boat on this. I am a lefty. I'm a liberal. I'm a Democrat. Whatever you want to call me, that's what I am. And I believe in certain principles as a Democrat. As a Democrat, I believe in helping people, X, Y, and Z, doing that common man, making sure everybody is good, X, Y, and Z. I believe in that. Donald Trump does not. Has nothing to do with what he is doing. Just because you do one good thing doesn't mean that you're a good person overall for everyone.
But I think that's nothing but opinion. That, I would have a different opinion and then we would never meet on that. So I think that that's not a good argument.
But that's the whole point. The whole point is that's not the only thing. There's many things that would put that president on the wrong path. For one, I am America first, and he is not America first. Nothing he has done has been America first.
I disagree. He went above doing certain things by the law to stop drugs from coming into this country to protect Americans when no one else will.
Let me finish. He did not do what he was doing for drugs. He doesn't care about the drugs. He never did. He doesn't care about that. He's just telling the American public that he cares about that.
But it's a byproduct.
Hold on. He cares about overthrowing Maduro. That's it. He cares about overthrowing him and getting the oil for his rich friends. That is not making America or putting America first. Venezuela, does not take out, Venezuela does not bring fentanyl here. Venezuela produces cocaine. Mexico produces fentanyl. It's not Venezuela. So
That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
No, it's not.
Absolutely true. Every report
It is not. It is not true. It is not true.
That fentanyl, every report I have read, fentanyl comes through Mexico, not Venezuela.
It can primarily come through Mexico, but it's also now coming through Colombia since we strengthened the southern border so well. Or excuse me, not Colombia, I meant Canada. So it's coming through multiple ways, but you have to understand China is the one pushing out the fentanyl. They send it to Mexico, they send it to El Salvador, they send it to Venezuela, and it goes in every drug that comes into this country.
Every report that I've read, cocaine comes out of Venezuela.
Mexico, and so does Colombia have cocaine.
Mexico is the primary and comes from Canada, across Canada's borders, and Mexico is the fentanyl. Cocaine is from Venezuela. That's primarily what it does. That's one. Two, the president didn't do anything unless it benefited him. Everything. What is that? Is that mine?
That's me. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, there we go.
Everything that this president has put into place has been for the rich. He hasn't done anything for the middle class.
That's your opinion. Let me tell you. Let me give you one example.
Hold on.
One example.
Let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Most people throw up the no tax on tips and the no tax on overtime. That does nothing for the regular, everyday, average American. Everyday average American doesn't work for tips, and the everyday average American doesn't itemize their deductions on their taxes, so that doesn't do anything for the regular, ordinary American. So you can scratch.
I disagree. There's a regular, ordinary American in every part of every city working for tips right now. So how does that not benefit them?
Of course, it benefits people who work for tips, but most of us don't work for tips. That's what I said. So
but that's just one example.
Yeah, that's one example. And the tax on overtime, that is an itemized thing. Most people don't itemize. Most people do standard. So that doesn't do anything for the regular, ordinary, average person.
HQ, that still don't float, HQ, because most men, and this is why I said, this is what I was telling you, Thomas, she doesn't really care about the man side of it. Most of us as men,
this is not a man.
Most of us as men, most of us as men work overtime on a consistent basis, HQ.
But listen to what I said. The taxes are either claim taxes through an itemized deduction or a standard deduction. Most people take the standard deduction because the standard deduction is higher. You get more taxes or penalties taken off with the standard deduction. So most people use standard deduction. The no tax on overtime is a part of the itemized side. Most people don't itemize. That's why it is not going to do regular people any good to have the no tax on tips or no tax on overtime.
Can my share on that though, if I could just push back a little bit, is you're not wrong. Like, not everybody works overtime, not everybody works tips, but that is still a policy that helps out a lot of people in this country.
But that's not that. I'm not saying it doesn't.
So
I'm saying it doesn't.
And
it doesn't help. Wait a minute, listen. When he made that tax cut, he cut the people off at a certain amount of money. He cut, just for example, he said everybody above 500, everybody above 5 million, I'm giving you a tax cut. That's just an example. He said everybody above 5 million get a tax cut. Did he say everybody below 50,000 get a tax cut? Did he say that? No, he didn't. Because some of us are not going to be affected by what he said. I'm saying his policies that he put into place do not help the middle class like they do that 1 and 2% of the millionaires that they do. 2, the tariffs don't help middle class America because we pay the tax on the tariffs. So it doesn't help middle class people when the tariffs come into place. It doesn't help middle class people when he puts a tax for the rich. It doesn't help middle class people when he cuts Medicaid like he did this summer, when they cut off ACA like they did 1230, 25. He's not doing things to help the middle class. So therefore, I would not vote for him. All this other garbage, this nonsense, no, it doesn't do anything for us in the middle class. It only helps the rich.
So,
and he does it every time.
So here's all right.
In the office.
I think that one of the things that one of the things that I had to learn and listen to early on, especially before the election, was when he was discussing putting these tariffs in place. He made it very clear that it was going to hurt Americans for a little while. Some people might lose jobs, some people might lose benefits, certain prices on certain goods are going to go up, but it's that way of negotiating with these other countries who are killing us on the fees that they charge us. They are charging our country 10 times what they charge other countries for medicine and for prescriptions, and he's tired of it. And so he put in these tariffs in place that, when done properly, will eventually lead to prosperity for the American people, but will hurt at first. It's only been a year. It's only been a year.
Tariffs are always going to help. Tariffs are always going to hurt the middle class. They're always going to hurt.
Well, I hope. All I could do is hope and pray it'll lead to something good, but who knows?
And every expert that came out said that tariffs were going to hurt the middle class and businesses. He destroyed the farmers. He destroyed the farmers' business. Plants are closing. He went over to Venezuela and snatched a president from out of his own country. In the middle of the night.
Are y'all still there? I just wanted to say I really appreciate the thoughtful conversation. I got to jump off here, but God bless all of you.
All right. Come back again, Thomas.
It was great talking to you, bro. You are.
I mean, that's
you a pretty good dude. You're a pretty good dude.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thanks so much. You all too. Okay, take care of yourselves.
So, see, these are reasonable conversations that we can have. We need to have these kind of conversations because we have to have the ideas on the table for everybody to understand the ideas. And it's not a matter of me hating President Trump for X, Y, and Z. He's a shitty human being. That's cool. But if he was doing, I'm going to admit this one thing. And I swear to God, if somebody throw this in my face, I ain't going to say it again. I'm going to admit this one thing. It was pretty badass. It was that Venezuelan shit was pretty badass. I'm gonna give him the props for that. The shit was pretty badass. Shouldn't have did it, but it was pretty badass. Okay? And that's the last time I'm gonna say that. That's the last time y'all gonna hear me say that. Okay? It wasn't you there, Black America? Damn, Black America even dropped off.
No, I'm here. I'm just listening to you. I agree with what you're saying. Go ahead. I agree with what you're saying. Go ahead.
I'm saying, no, it's not a matter of me just not liking the president. He doesn't have policies for the middle class, and we need policies for the middle class. Those policies I gave you that would lift the middle class out of the gutter that they are in. Everybody here, when they work, they pay medical expenses, right? Everybody who here pays medical expenses. Out of their check, they get taken out. Some get taken out of your check. You get $25, $30, $45, $50 taken out of your check every time you get paid, depending on how much it is, right? What if we had single payer health care streamlined it, then it wouldn't come out of your check like that. You could save that $100, that $200, that $2,000 a month, $2,000 a year that you're paying out of your pocket for health care. That would save the middle class Americans money. The middle class Americans could go to the doctor whenever they wanted to. They wouldn't have to worry about waiting around and then they get sick and then they go to the doctor, then it's more expensive. That helps the middle class. Okay. Free college. That means every smart person that's in this country can go to college and get a decent education. The private colleges would still be private, but the public colleges are free, and you would have a decent education just like everybody else.
Okay. Can I say something?
These are my things. The middle class needs to be raised up.
Can I say something? I like what you're saying now, right? But when you say free education, I want you to emphasize every time you say it from now on. I want you to say people with a 3.5 grade average, 3.5, 3.7 grade average get to go to college for free. Not everybody.
No, not everybody wants to go to college, but the people who want to, who can't afford it.
That are smart though. But see, what you're failing to realize is smart people already get scholarships. Football players. I went to college on a football scholarship. Smart people already get scholarships.
But not necessarily. We want to get everybody. We want to get everybody to give everybody a chance.
We don't want to give everybody a chance.
Yes, we do. We want Billy Bob, who live in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, Nebraska. We want him to be able to go to college, get a degree, raise his family up out of the gutter. We want every person to do that.
So you want somebody like that to go to college? That's a C student. You want a C student?
Wait a minute. Black America, what is wrong with a C and B student?
Yes, ma'am.
What's wrong with a C and B student?
I didn't say it. I didn't say anything is wrong with a C and B student. But
so you're trying to
for your primary education.
You're trying to primary.
I'm not trying to. I'm a C student. I'm a C student. Like I said, I went to college.
Then what you talking about?
Hold on.
Do you know what you said? Do you know what you said, Black America?
Yes.
You said anybody that's smart can go to any college they want to with a scholarship. So why can't anybody that's average go to a college and go to a public college and be able to get their education too? Why they gotta have good grades?
Because they don't deserve it.
Wait a minute, what do you mean deserve?
People don't deserve anything, HQ. You have to work for the things that you get.
Wait a minute.
People with us. Go ahead.
Do you know what you're saying, Black America? Black America.
I do. I do know what you're saying.
America. Look, we are average everyday Americans, and everyday Americans. Some people can't even imagine being able to go to college because they're poor. We want these people.
It's not because they're poor. It's because they're stupid.
No. This is what I'm saying. I want every person, even if they have a C and they get C's all the way through college, if they want to go to college, I want them to get more knowledge, more understanding, and everything else. When it comes to, they shouldn't just be regulated to join the military. They shouldn't just be regulated to working in the oil fields. They shouldn't just be regulated from working at Popeyes. They should have the opportunity to go to college, regardless of whether they're C, B, or D. And even if you're an F student, maybe an F student might be Maybe an F student might be
come on, HQ.
Maybe an F student might be inspired. Now. Maybe an F student will be inspired when they find out
to do what? To screw up once they get to college? Come on, HQ. You have to be reasonable.
Wait a minute.
That's not reasonable thinking.
Wait a minute. Hopefully everybody understands what I'm saying. every American should have the opportunity to go. Whether you're smart enough to stay, it's all on you. But the door to go should be there. Okay? The door to go should be there. Let's agree on that. The door to go should be open for them to go. Whether they stay or not, it depends on. It depends on whether they stick to they do what they got to. Poor, rich, it don't matter. Poor, rich people gonna go to the rich elite schools. The smart people are probably gonna go to the rich elite schools. But you can't tell me that graduating from Eastern Illinois University and going to University of New York means I'm less than, because I got C's and B's, I'm less than a person who goes to a different school.
Would those be on the same? Okay, so since you said it, and this came out of your mouth, with a person with a degree from one of those schools be on par with somebody that came out of Harvard?
But their opportunities are better because they ain't just a high school diploma person. They have a degree. They have a skill set. They have an opportunity. Every American should have an opportunity to go to school. I say make all state schools free. Then the specialized schools like Harvard and all of them, then those ones got to cost money. But the regular state schools should be free. That's what I'm saying.
I don't agree with it, because if you want, so let's go back to me, right? And we can focus it all on me and my dumb ass, my C student ass. I went to school because I was extraordinary in a sport. But as far as my academics went, I was lagging behind because I've never read a book, right? I never did it. I floated through it. So with that being said, why would I or any other C student,
bad story,
sorry,
take away the opportunity from somebody?
No, you're not. That's the thing. You keep saying taking the opportunity away. You're not taking the opportunity away of anybody. If Joe Blow has a C student and you're a B student, you're not taking anything away from. You're not taking anything away from the B student, and the B student is not taking anything away from the C student. That's not what I'm saying. Every American, you didn't hear what I said. Every American should have an opportunity to go to college. That's what I'm saying. Every American. If you are smart enough to get B's, C's, and A's, you should be allowed to go to college and finish the college. It is what it is. But the point is, if we stop doing some of the things that we are doing, we never should. Wait a minute. This is what I'm saying. Donald Trump gave all of those billionaires and millionaires tax cuts. Why couldn't he have made people have free lunch? Why couldn't he have made people have free college? Why couldn't he have made us be able to have universal health care? Why couldn't we have done that? There's nobody has an answer to it. Nobody.
Do you want the answer? Do you want the answer?
What is it?
So the answer is the people on top give jobs to people on the bottom. That's the simple answer. So if
wait a minute, what does that have to do? Wait a minute, hold on. What does that have to do with the three things I said that the middle class should have? College, free food, free lunch, and healthcare. What does that have to do with that?
Because most of us, and once again, I understand that you care about people, but most of us people that go to work, we care that people go to work and earn their own way through life. We don't think that anything should be given to anybody. We believe that you need to work for the things you have.
Nobody said anything about the work. Nobody said anything about giving working, not working for the things you have. Nobody said anything about that. Why does it always come back to, if I give you something, then
Because
somebody
you're
else
talking
is going to be
about
able to get it?
because you're talking about giving people things for free. And if you're saying you're going to give somebody for
And
free,
my whole point is, what's wrong with that?
that means they don't, because they're not working for it. They're not working for the things
No, you don't need to work. You don't need to work for healthcare. You shouldn't have to work for education. You shouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to work for food. I don't understand what you mean. How is it that giving free lunch? Wait a minute, hold on. How is it that giving every student, making sure every student has a free lunch? How is that giving people free stuff? Where is that a bad thing? They should earn their food. Students should earn their food.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Okay, then. How is it that giving everybody in that? How is it that giving every American free education, giving away free shit, when you can get an education just like I can get an education? It's free for everybody, so everybody becomes smarter, because everybody has an opportunity to become smarter. Everybody has an opportunity to become educated. What does that have to do with free stuff?
Because you're talking about giving. You're talking about giving stuff away to people who are not working for it.
Nobody has to work. Nobody has to work for schooling. Nobody has to work for schooling now. They just gotta pay for it.
Primary schooling is free, HQ. We're talking about higher education. You're talking about letting C students go to college for free. Somebody who.
Let me answer this. Let me ask you this. Are you advocating for rich people to continue to get the things that they're getting and nobody gets anything in the middle class? Are you advocating for that? Because I'm advocating for the middle class. I'm advocating for the middle class to get free college. Every human being, every American in this country can get free education. I don't understand why you would object to free education for everybody in the United States. I don't understand how you would be objecting to free lunch for every kid in the school that may be hungry or may not be hungry. It don't matter.
All right, so
going to get free food. How are you advocating against those free things when that helps the middle class exponentially across the board? I don't understand how you arguing against that, but you don't have any pushback for him giving tax breaks for the rich. You have no pushback for him going over and getting another person out of their country and using American resources for that. But y'all got pushback for the stuff like college and school lunches. I'm confused.
All right, can I explain now? So let's go with the school first, right? With the free lunches or whatever for the kids, right? I'm going to take this one slow. Unless they are orphaned or don't have a mother and father, their parents are responsible for feeding their own kids. I don't care about your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, or your nephews. If you care about them, they are your responsibility. Okay? Now, I already agree with you that if somebody that is smart, yes, a state college, if they have a 3.5 grade average or better,
so you got to be smart. So you got to be smart to be able to go to college. So you should agree with them bringing them foreigners over here and giving them foreigners all of our jobs and letting them go to school. So you should be fine with that, huh?
No, I'm not okay with that.
All right, you just said that you got to be smart in order to go to college. Them foreign people that they bring over here.
Talking about Americans. I'm talking about Americans. HQ, I don't care about foreign people. I don't like foreign people for the most part. I only care about American people.
So why is it that you would be against people who wanted to have a universal health care or single payer health care? Why would you be against that when you already pay for it? You
Because-
already pay for it. You already pay
Alright.
for it. You
So-
already pay for
so-
it.
So
We
what
just
is the
trying
tax?
to cut your
Hold
bill
on,
down.
hold on. So Canada has something very similar to what you're talking about, correct?
No, they don't. Germany does.
Okay, so what I want you to do is think about or look up the tax rate of what people have to pay in taxes in Germany and see
Yeah, but-
how many people. Hold on a second, Ace.
Okay.
And see how many people are in Germany as a whole versus America as a whole. We have 300 and something million people in America. Germany, I don't know. Look and see how many people are in Germany and what their tax rate is.
Okay.
See, that's the big difference.
Their tax rate is not that much further than what we pay. I think their tax rate is maybe 3% higher than ours.
You think or you know? Did you look it up?
No, I looked it up at one particular point. Wait a minute. I'm looking
Okay,
up right
because I went to Hawaii. Because I went to Hawaii and I paid $33 for a personal pan visa. Something that we can get over here in America for $5 or $6. I paid $33 for it over there, almost $40. So what I'm telling you is, shit in those other countries are much more expensive than what we get over here in America.
So what is it? Let me see who has universal health care. Okay. Universal health care, income tax, social charges, 45%, 30%, 20 to 40%, 45%, 20%, 23%. What is our tax? What taxes do we have? What is America's? Let's see. And my whole thing, America's tax. Oh, now you're going to, okay. And we don't even have no healthcare system. Yeah. Without all that. What are the taxes? Okay. That's my whole my whole point is this. We don't pay that much different from what they pay. We pay 37%. We pay 37% in taxes. They pay.
That's a certain tax bracket. That's a certain tax bracket.
No. I'm not doing a tax bracket. I'm not doing a tax bracket.
In their tax.
I'm not doing a tax bracket. I'm doing, these are people, these are countries that have universal health care, that have free college. They pay 38% to 46%. We pay 37%. So our tax rate is not that much lower than theirs. Even if they notched us up 2 or 3 tax brackets, 2 or 3 taxes, percentage points, for us to be able to get health care, for us to be able to get free college, it would be worth it. That's my point. It would be worth it if we had to go 2 or 3 notches above what we pay now. We pay 37%. Okay. And most of y'all don't even see that 37%. They just take it out of your check. So now if they take out, just for example, you make $1,000 a week and they take out 120 in taxes. So now if they want free healthcare and free medical and free schooling, now they taking out 120. No, they taking out 130, taking out 140. You gonna bitch about the 130 and 140, even if you're paying for free healthcare and free schooling? That's gonna make a difference one way or the other? No, I don't think it will. If you told me I had to pay an extra $10 a month so that everybody would be able to get healthcare or whatever, but that's not the case, because it would be cheaper. It would be cheaper because we're paying insurance companies now. It would be cheaper because the insurance companies would be gone. If you had to pay an extra $10 for healthcare and school, most people would say, okay, let's do that. Most people would. And I'm saying we have none of that on the table with this president. We have nothing on the table with this president. We should be arguing and advocating for one of those three things: universal health care or single payer, free schooling, free college, free state college, free lunch for every kid in the school. We should be advocating for some things because we ain't getting jack shit, and this president ain't looking like he giving us jack shit. I ain't seen him address our issues yet. I ain't seen him address none of our money problems yet. I ain't seen him address none of those things yet. Okay? That's why I don't stand behind this president, because he's not for the poor people. He's for the rich. He's always been for the rich. We need to, every time we get into what the hell are those things? Town hall meetings. Every time we get into a town hall meeting, we need to be screaming about universal health care, free colleges, free lunch to the students. So we need to be screaming about something, because we ain't asking for nothing. We just letting them do what they want to do with our money. And we need to be advocating for them to do something with our money. The only pushback I done heard so far is stop sending Israel all our money. That's the only pushback I done heard. Okay, once they stop giving the money to Israel, what are we going to do with it? I want free health care. That's what I want. I want free health care. I want you to give me free health care. That's what I want. Or I want you to give me free schooling. But anyway, it's a long, we a long route. We're a long way away from X, Y, and Z. We're a long way away from X, Y, and Z. So we got to do what we got to do in order to get these people in line and do what they got to do to help us. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed. We just going to be screwed. Jesus. Hold on. My thing just went haywire. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear me. So anyway, these are the things that we need to be asking for and making them do for us. That's it. That's all. It just is what it is. The ocean is lovely. Y'all see me? Hopefully y'all see me. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe, please, and thank you. I appreciate it. We went way over our time. We sure did. Y'all know I gotta eat dinner. Way over the time. But I appreciate all of y'all. Definitely love the lively conversation. We're going to continue to open up the panel, and then we're going to have talks about this stuff. But I'm saying, I'm putting these things on your mind. We need to be fighting for something. We need to be fighting for something, not fighting each other. We need to be fighting for something. And I'm fighting for universal health care. I'm fighting for free lunches. I'm fighting for free college. What are you fighting for? Okay. I'm fighting for. This is what I'm fighting for. But it is what it is. And I will be back later. Y'all know I will. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. I'll definitely be back. I will definitely be back.